he that is in us than he that is in the world, because he will do a mighty work for us. In the name of Jesus, as I pray to you, God, Father, this morning, oh God, we pray for all those who is in authority, that they'll be able to do better, because the voice of the people is the voice of God. We call upon you, God, Father, to turn things around for us, oh God. There is nothing that is impossible that you cannot do. There is nothing that is too much you cannot do. Lift them up, oh God, Father, and turn them around. Make them remember the promise, the poor and the vulnerable. In the name of Jesus, the nursing mother, remember them, oh God, how they cried, the elderly, how they cried a bitter cry, and the cry will go up to you, to the third and 10th heaven. You will hear them, God, in a timing. In the name of Jesus, I pray to you, God. I pray for the opposition, that they'll be able to oppose well, so good things will come their way. In the name of Jesus, bless all the ministers, bless each and every one. Bless Dr. Keith Mitchell, bless him, Father, in the name of Jesus. I call upon thee this morning, my Lord, my God, my King. Father, this morning, I bring the radio station to you. I bring it to you in a marked and special way. I ask you to bless the covering of the radio station. Bless the thistle of the door, the bonding center, the gathering the yard, the surrounding of the yard. Bless it, oh God, Father, and all those in the radio station. Bless Mr. Carl Caton. Bless the Igwe, Mr. Donald, CJ, everyone who come to the radio station and all the listeners this morning. We ask you, God, to give them a special blessing this weekend. Keep them safe and abiding in your grace in the name of Jesus, and we give you thanks and praise. Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for everything that you have done. Help us, oh God, Father, because there is no one else can help us except you, oh God. So we bring all our trouble and our pain at the throne of grace. We bring it to you, God, Father, so you will be able to help us. Hear our prayer and set us free in the name of Jesus. And we say amen, amen, and amen. So, Father, I taught the disciples to say, whenever you pray, we must say, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. That will be done on us as it is in heaven. That will be done on us as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. And we say amen, amen, and amen. Good morning to you, Sister Akami. Have a beautiful day. Good morning to you, Sister Jacob. Have a wonderful day. And you, Sister Kenyo, have a wonderful day. And you, Igwe, have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
In the name of Jesus, amen, amen.
All right, bless. It's real, it's 91.9. For those of you locking it down via the dial, 91.9 and 5.
Where you walk.
Have yourself a blessed day. 30 minutes past 7 o'clock inside the studios. It's the Xtention, people. So you know what that means. Kathleen Knights, good morning to you. Good morning to the people locking it down via the tuning app as well. Remember, if the YouTube is giving you issues, just go to the Play Store or the App Store and type in download the tuning app and just type in Real FM Grenada. It's simple, it's easy to use. I don't want you guys missing out on nothing.
You gotta be careful.
People locking it down in Plains, good morning to you. Rose Hill people, good morning. Yeah. You got to be careful.
Where you go?
Glorious Friday, I say.
What you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful.
We'll be back after this.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Seasons.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Seasons.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression.
www.colorbyseasons.com. Seasons.
Grenlis,
Express your style.
energizing
Color
our
by
Grenada.
Seasons.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&N Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&N Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
The first word when you speak about furniture
is time.
Yes.
What a nice house to mix and match. Brushes, rollers, and tools like that. Best and best tip technician.
Available on the island. You think it, they design it, and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price, and they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, with their factory at Chantemelle in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchen, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
ZZ's Minimart, located at Montrose in St. Patrick, announces its grand opening on Monday, 6th February from 8 a.m. Get all your groceries, including meats, peas, detergents, wines, stationeries, kitchen utensils, a wide range of snack items, drinks, and much more. Spend $100 or more and get a chance to win a brand new iPhone 13. Yes, wow, a brand new iPhone 13.
Oh my God! Wow!
ZZ's Minimart opens from Monday to Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. On Fridays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call us today on 457-1100. That number again, 457-1100. Come to ZZ's, where you shop more and spend less.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
And we're back. 18 minutes past 7 o'clock. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Go right ahead.
Good morning to you. Good morning to the nation. I'm reading from the Word of God, Psalm 103. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Who forgives all thy iniquity, who heals all disease, who redeemed thy life from destruction, who covereth thee with his loving kindness and tender mercy, who satisfied thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth reward like a eagle. The Lord escort righteousness and judgment for all that are oppressed. This is the end of the scripture reading.
Thank you very much.
And you have a nice day and a lovely weekend.
You too. I know you're listening.
Yeah, yes.
All right, take care. 19 minutes past. Remember, 20 minutes past. I got the weather coming up. So stay tuned for that. Let me try and make the connection with MBIA.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful. We have to prepare to meet the challenges of life without fear. Greed and jealousy, hatred and envy, man, you have to move with care. In that
As we head over to the Met office, we speaking with Jason Roberts this morning. Good morning.
Morning to you, Igwe, and morning to all listeners
Morning.
of Real FM. Let's take a look at the weather for today, Friday, the 24th day of February 2023. At Point Chalene, it is cloudy. A gentle breeze is from the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour. The barometric pressure is 16.9 millibars, which is above normal and rising. The present temperature, 24 degrees Celsius, relative humidity, 81%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.1 degrees Celsius and the minimum last night 23.7 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, we had no rainfall at the airport. The total for the month remains at 15.7 millimeters. Now for the public focus for Grenada, Carrico, and PT Martinique, valid for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief morning and nighttime showers. Today's maximum temperature should reach 30 degrees Celsius. The wind should be northeasterly to east-northeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. The sea should be moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Tide is currently falling, will be low at 12:15 p.m. and high at 6:30 p.m. Sunset to the 6:16 sunrise tomorrow, 6:27. To repeat the focus, the weather is expected to be generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief morning and nighttime showers. From the Maurice Bishop International Airport, Jason Robertson reporting.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Take care.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price, and they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, with their factory at Chantemelle in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchen, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Sissons.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sissons.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sissons. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
If you're looking to improve or maintain your health, look no further. We have a general practitioner right here on Main Street, Sates in the Kweze. Dr. Guerrero, a gynecologist and surgeon who specializes in women's health. She offers lab tests, blood, pap smears, prostate cancer, and stool tests. Consultation for pregnant women from beginning to end. Surgeries, which includes hysterectomy, tying of tubes, vaginal shrinking, removal of uterine fibroids, and vaginal warts, hernias, C-section. She also specializes in diagnostic and therapeutic DNC, abnormal bleeding. They're in collaboration with Alice Labs, located in St. George, opposite the Excel Plaza. Dr. Santos, an oncologist who specializes in cancer treatment, a general practitioner, family doctor, will be joining Dr. Guerra in the not-too-distant future. Walk-ins are accepted. You can also call for an appointment at 423-3352. That number again, 423-3352. Put your health first.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere. The Grenlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an X-Con and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with my wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive.
Aiming to construct 2,500 homes. The homes will be made available for sale. The price ranges will vary depending on the size of the houses. The plans for the houses will be designed in such a way that they can be scaled up.
Yes, Igwe.
Morning one, morning all. All listeners of Real FM platforms, Igwe. Morning to you, Igwe.
Morning.
Morning to my friends. Morning to my compadres. Morning to my colleagues. Morning to the naysayers, the cynics, and the enemies also. Grenada still remain my constituency. Real FM is the people's parliament. And the people elect me as spokesman for the time. And I am blessed by the Ancient of Days. Igwe, Real FM expressions for Friday, 24th February 2023, the Xtention. Folks, today we'll do some deep sea diving. We have a packed program today. I don't know if you'll have time to get through all, Igwe, because we want to talk about the promises made by the National Democratic Congress. We must speak about the situation of COVID Igwe. We must speak out the guns because you're hearing guns, all kind of crime going. Gun crimes improve,
Yeah.
escalate.
Well, yeah.
We must talk about the RGPF, the police. We must talk about salary negotiations. We must talk about the fortnight salary saga. We must talk about the leakage. We can't forget about the 150 and the people they make go. And we have to talk about some of the ministers presently trying to personalize the ministry like it's theirs. You only the holder of the office or the person in charge. The ministry is not yours. And the word for today, Igwe, is deaconize. Deaconize is the malicious victimization and detoxification of persons perceived not to support the National Democratic Congress. And I go again, Igwe, to deaconize, because Grenada has been deaconized, eh? So persons are being maliciously victimized and detoxify because they believe those persons don't support the National Democratic Congress. So we have to watch this thing, Igwe. And Igwe, when I retired to my dormitory yesterday, Igwe, and I thought, well, program tomorrow, today, what will I talk about? And I say, boy, I never see nothing so, you know, Igwe. The whole country deaconized for so, Igwe. When it comes for victimization, when it comes for detoxification, NMP, NDC. Because you see, NNP and NDC have different philosophy. NNP believe the greater good for the greater number. And NDC people call it handout. NDC believe in detoxifying and victimizing the people maliciously who they believe or suspect does not support the National Democratic Congress. So the National Democratic Congress mash up the country, Igwe. They mash everything up. And after one term, they go leave us with the cow sheet. So we have to guard against that, and we have to be prepared, and we have to warn the people. Now, Igwe, the first thing I will deal with, and I want back the clip again about the housing. Because it's important that we speak about the housing. So give me that clip again. Because you see, they're all part of the promises.
Aiming to construct 2,500 homes. The homes will be made available for sale. The price ranges will vary depending on the size of the houses. The plans for the houses will be designed in such a way that they can be scaled up.
Do that again.
Aiming to construct 2,500 homes. The homes will be made available for sale. The price ranges will vary depending on the size of the houses. The plans for the houses will be designed in such a way that they can be scaled up.
So here the number is here. Give me that clip again, because I want to be fair in all
aiming to construct 2,500 homes.
2,500 homes.
The homes will be made available for sale. The price ranges will vary depending on the size of the houses. The plans for the houses will be designed in such a way that they can be scaled up.
So you could improve on the house after you buy.
But you go hear this. Just as the plane talk, if the government don't do nothing, we go lease 2 planes. And then you hear they come back and say, well, we didn't consider the airspace, we didn't consider persons walking and all this kind of thing. You know? Now this house stock was just like that. They didn't consider land to build the house. Yeah, land to build the house. They didn't consider that. They didn't consider the cost and every other thing. But here's what is important, and we must speak of those things because we are citizens of this country. And again, before I go into that, I'm going to give you a scenario so persons could understand. Being in the farming fraternity, Igwe, and looking for markets for produce, I set up a meeting in Sandals, the hotel, and when I attended the meeting along with two friends of mine, the gentleman we met says to us, you guys gonna come here today and all you won't come back and all you won't call back. But we was like, well, why we want to come and do business? We want to get some contract with you. Why won't we come back and think? He says, Sandals sell a dream to the clients. So when the clients reach here, they can't tell them midway, they don't have that and they don't have that and they don't have that. So if they have to sign a contract with us, we have to sell a dream to them. So we can't come in the middle of the ocean and say gas done. I say that to say, Igwe, promises. And this administration is the most promising administration I ever passed in Grenada. That is why they will be the most scrutinized administration in Grenada because of the promises they make. It's not about bad minding them. It's about the promises they make. House. You hear the Prime Minister talk about house. That was one. You talk about making permanence for workers, contract workers. And while we at it, you have a clip with my representative, Mr. Cornwall. Line it up for me. Then we talk about payment of pension. We talk about payment of dock salaries. We talk about chop seaweed. We talk about permanent for e-monies. We talk about the minimum wage. We talk about health care. We talk about pay and grade for the police. Hold on, don't play it here. Just to name a few. So these are the promises they sold to the Grenadian public. And the majority who voted in the election, listen to me, the majority who voted in the election voted for the National Democratic Congress. Now hear this. The retroactive pension payment and payment due to pension was only realized because the NNP managed the economy well, so they meet money they go. So it was not, and the court, they had a court ruling it, so they didn't come and pay pension. The court dictate or mandated that they have to pay pension. So they don't do nobody a favor, Igwe. The ruling of the court, the reinstatement of the 1958 pension legislation forced this government and any other government to pay pension. So it's not something they do. Because they just use that politically to say we go pay whether we go borrow. Now you hear now kind of talk about contributory plan. You hear now kind of talk about pension have to be restructured and all them kind of thing in them. They pay the money to the teachers because they make money in the church. They didn't have to find it. They take $2,000 from ministers and all kind of shenanigans with traveling, and they create the Ministry of Mischief, the MIT ministry. Because all of that happened because they met the Treasury inform. Igwe. So those are the promises, but we don't hear nothing about all. Let me hear the clip by my representative, Mr. Cornwall.
And NDC government will put an end to contract workers in the public service as soon as it takes office. There is no need for a parallel public service in Grenada. All workers will be given permanent status.
Then is the people waiting, eh? Just so you know, because they say they don't see you to tell you that. So they say they know you just listen to the radio. So they ask me to tell you that they're still waiting on the permanence. So just know what you're doing, my representative, Honorable Cornwall. Yeah, Igwe. So they make all these promises because they are the most promising government to ever pass in this country here. And now we don't see it because the only promises they would have realized is those because of the good management of the country by the NNP, so they could have paid the retroactive. They could have paid the teachers the money they don't work for because the court say that. They could have taken $2,000 for traveling, as they say, and they could have created the Ministry of Mischief, MIT ministry. Simply put, So we have to strip the promises, Igwe, because that's what get them into governance. The solar dream to the Grenadian public. Because they talk about the other promises that remove VAT for a year and so on. But as we go along, we're getting it. Right now, we spoil for riches of information. We could speak now until the call come home and still have more information. But I want to zero into the only housing thing. Because the Prime Minister say one thing, and listen this. Housing Minister, the Honorable Philip tell us what. Philip, when you're coming back in Monctos and fix the road going up to the Fall Farm at your mash up. Because Monctos people want to know when you're coming and fix the road, Mr. Telesford. They go tell you, I see that on radio. Caller, hold on, we coming to you. They go say, I tell you that on radio, Mr. Telesford. Come and fix the road. Because I have a vested interest in the road. That's the area what bring me up. And that's the area when I had my little foray into the politics of this country, in the corridors of power, a cause to be done because I recognize what's a need for the people. Mr. Telesford, when you're coming back and fix the road, you mash up in Monctos. Because the place is being decolonized, transformation. So your transformation was to mash up a good road. Okay. Anyways, let's go. Now, Housing Minister, Honorable Philip Telesford says, the Deacon Mitchell administration may not build 500 homes it has promised to deliver during the first budgeted year. Funding from the government, but insisted we look to team up with stakeholders. But when they say they go build the 500 or the 2,500 houses, I never hear nothing about stakeholders and team up. I never hear you had a concern for land, space, and so on. How all of a sudden now, so I tell you, these guys and them just promise without thinking about it, just like the plain Igwe, just like making everybody prominent. So here goes. The government of Grenada may not necessarily build homes, but we may wish to partner by way of putting in infrastructural work. But I thought they say that the only thing NNP is to do infrastructure. Okay, I'll start to learn now. Those of you who have large portion of land and wish to partner with us, we may enter into a joint venture for such purposes, he said during a meeting at the GBSS auditorium on Monday, the 20th February. So, from we go build 2,500 houses. Then the housing minister said, no, he's talking out of 500 houses. So I don't know if he's talking something different to what the Prime Minister said. Because the Prime Minister said 2,005 and the house will be sold. He's saying 500 and we want partners to deliver it on land and who are begging on people who are land. So that I tell you what happened with them. They just come and they run them out. And the Grenadian public fall for the dream. Now for boots on the ground there was. Them fellas are fumbling in the end zone. So they can't score touchdown. Igwe, this man and them go through the whole before the election cycle and don't do nothing, you know. Because you see now, the money NNP leaving the treasury, they squander it already. And they don't have no ways and means of making back that money. Added to that, they don't have no ways and means of job creation. Because what they're doing, they're taking the job from Harry and Jane. Because they believe now Jane supporting them and Harry now they support her. And that is the crux of the matter. So we must speak. We have to speak on those issues. And that is sad, Igwe. And that is very, very, very sad, Igwe. So the promises made, we could list all the promises because they sell a dream to the Grenadian public. Now midway in the ocean or during the game, they want to change the goalpost. So you're hearing all kind of excuse now. Igwe, all kind of excuse you're hearing. No, we're not necessarily looking for people with large lands and all. So when you say you're doing the houses, you didn't realize land is part of the thing. You didn't realize finance is part of the thing. But now you get to realize, you see that clip with the training school with Dr. Mitchell and it because they didn't go in training school. And they recognize it now, boy, we at sea. But just be straight with the Ghanaian public and tell them we can manage the thing and go back to the polls. You think no difficulty, no? Let me get the clip.
Say, put everybody, put all the money on the permanent stuff. Put all nurses on the permanent. Put all, everybody. Just put them because you're wicked if you don't do it. Yes. Go in government. Go into government and do that and find out who's going to support you. Go, then you will find out and they'll say, I didn't understand and I did not know. That's why you have to come in to a training school first and learn before you become the Hippie.
Yeah, Sunny, good. Let's take that call. Morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Caller.
How are you this morning?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm okay. All things considered.
Yeah, all things okay. All things considered. We have to say, we okay. We have to thank God.
Yeah.
We are alive.
But we do have concerns.
We do have concerns. So I do agree wholeheartedly with all of the concerns that you have raised because they severely affect the life
and livelihood of
and
people.
The hopes of the Grenadian people.
Yeah.
Now, it's one thing to promise and not be able to deliver everything. I want to believe that every government, every party that goes into government will encounter certain situations where they cannot deliver everything. But it's another thing to deliberately deceive the people. To believe that it can be done, knowing that it cannot be done. But you promise them anyways, just to get into office. Just to get, not just office, power. That is what you call power. Because when people tell me, when NNP was in power, NNP was never in power. NNP was in office to serve. And that is the difference that these people did not understand, that it might be a position of power, but the power lies in the hands of the people and in serving the people. I wanted to make that. And I want to add a concern to your list. The Western Main Road, the monies we lost, the monies we met and did not use, even after having set up the MIT for months, they could not start that project. And we have lost greatly. When we look at not just maybe the resurfacing of the road and just some small fixing here and there, we had some major works, and I just wanted to underline them. If, as you come from Sotez, you pass Victoria and you go into Moran, you meet Grosse Point, there is a narrow bend right there where the sign between St. John and St. Mark is erected. And large vehicles, long vehicles, trailer trucks, whatever, they have difficulties passing there. And that was one of the things that we had, the people, the users of the Western Main Road had looked at. This is a site of several accidents, persons falling over because of the inadequacy of that bend to allow free flow of traffic. As you go further down into Moran, there's another one again that you meet. That was supposed to be rectified by that Western Main Road project. And we continue down to St. George. And there is the Concord Bridge and Woodford. There's another bend there. And if you just follow me in your mind, you will see all of these very difficult bends where either one vehicle has to stop and allow another one to pass, so you do not have dual carriage. And also where containers that have to be transported to the western side, they have to be transported along the eastern main road, St. David's side, to come back down maybe to St. Patrick or to St. Mark or wherever, because they cannot navigate those narrow roads. We have lost a lot. We have lost millions of dollars, all because of the negligence and because they would not listen. They would not go to the school, and they get upset when they told, well, You have a lot to learn, or you are children still. In terms of the politics, they are children. And they need to sit at the feet of those who know and to listen. And a lot of the things that they are doing, I wouldn't say they are mistakes. I believe that they were deliberate because they must have known now that what they were promising were pie in the sky. And before, I think the government could promise 2,500 houses, the government has to deal with the hundreds of houses, apartment buildings that have been built through collaboration with the Chinese government that are yet to be distributed. And they said, well, they would not give it unfinished, but start the work. I would like to know, Carl, you may know, maybe you have more information than I do. Where has work started to do internal works in those apartments? They said it would make it more comfortable. Those are the kind of deliberate lies and misleading statements that are made to give people a false sense of hope and comfort when they know that there is none. There is none. Just a few days ago, somebody sent me a WhatsApp. When are the houses? Some people are in desperate situations. When are the houses going to be, the apartments, going to be distributed? I couldn't say. We are not informed. And they are the government. They have a right to...
And the Prime Minister know of that because there was this lady say he paid 3 months for and then. So they know.
So they know. No, they know. They know. The I don't know is just, I don't know, to fool a few, maybe of believing supporters still, but we know that the lies. And I want to clear the air too, to give a little bit of the history. Very short, I don't want to take too much
No,
time.
man, we need to do that.
No. What is spreading on the ground is that the NNP government never did anything on the Western Main Road. So for the young people, they're not children, they're upset when maybe they weren't born yet. But when NNP was in office, the Western Main Road was done through an alliance between Janin and CCC. So the main dual carriage bridge, right in Victoria by the basketball court, either when you exit in or you enter in Victoria, that main bridge there, that was named after one of our heroes, our heroine, however you call it, Petronella Ferguson, that was built under the New National Party, and the whole Western Main Road was redone or fixed, whatever you want to call resurfaced, and other important bridges or areas.
The bridge in Gov.
Completely redone. But, I mean, no road stays forever. You have to continue maintenance. And so this is the time to maintain. But the good thing is that they found money in their laps, in their hands.
Yeah, they can't blame nobody.
Not only in the Treasury. That money was with the Caribbean Development Bank, but it's a money that was signed, sealed, and delivered, ready just for the government to draw down on it. And they have not done it. But how you looking to build the pie in the sky? 2,500 houses, and you have hundreds. I just didn't do the last figure. 113 St. Mark, maybe about 100 in Bushiju, 150 St. David, in the Villa, in St. Patrick, another how many? Scores of, in Karakou. Nothing has been done. We're going on, 8 months? Just now it will be a year. And nothing has been done. So if you're going to fix it, maybe a few of the travels where money is being used so extravagantly and without concern for the nation, those monies could have been used to go towards repairing, not repairing, but they said to complete, put cupboards and so on, because those apartments were built without the cupboards or closets, leaving it so that the owner can do the finishings to their own desire. But there's nothing wrong with government fixing it, but nothing has been done. So we are still waiting. There is that pie in the sky. And yes, the Western Main Road was done before. The Western Main Road has been serviced. The bridge at Gov was done, so you have dual carriageway. Those who don't know, those who know will recall that at one time you had to stop on one end, let a bus pass, in vehicle pass in Guelph, and so that you can follow or whatever. But no, it's dual carriageway.
But listen this, Doc. Listen this. As you on the Western Main Road and the project now, we know about the monies from when Prime Minister Cameron came here and all this thing, and we know COVID came in, and we know all what happened. And one thing people they tend not to understand because they didn't go in training school. Moline, the road passed through Moline, and we know the situation in Moline. So all that aid and abetted in the project didn't start in when we expected it to start. But listen what is instructive. The MIT minister, one of them who went and speak with the CDB in Barbados about the project, hear him, you know. He was in GBSS in some meeting, you know. And he say, let me read the thing. Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation Minister Andy Williams has disclosed that the Dickon Mitchell government has told the Caribbean Development Bank that it is not in favor of the procurement rules. But you know when you're dealing, because we're dealing in a global village and there's rules. So they don't know nothing. They're going to tell the CDB they don't agree with the rules. And one of the rules is when you have this project, you must tender it out regionally and internationally.
Well, of course.
You see, we have men inside here who could do it. But you know them project and them, even in Moline, a lot of men inside there maybe could do the work, but they don't have what it takes. When you call them in, they can bring in documentation. So it is not surprise. He's saying that in GBS, so we understand the mindset in the meeting in Barbados. That's why we lose the money. Because then when you're going to tell the CDB, not so we want it, do it so. Because they believe now what they doing people in Grenada, they could do people all about that, you know. And the words, and is that, you know. So they believe they could have gone to tell the CDB, and is that. So the CDB slammed the door on that on them. Because they never go in training school. They never understand diplomacy. They just feel it's taking out PTR and personalizing things that is running country. So they lose the money, and you know, they're so shameful, bold-faced and brazen. They come back here and say NNP lose the project. You know?
Well, yes, so that is...
That is saying until we catch up on them and we realize no money lallen. Not so the thing happen.
No, it cannot.
And the truth never far behind. So the fact that he say what? Just last month we fought with the CDB. Go and fight with the CDB. You see, just last month we fought with the CDB. So you understand the kind of governance you are here?
Yes.
So it was surprising. And like as you say, the time they were making those promises, they know it was lies.
Of course.
They know it was impossible.
And this is not the first time, eh? This is not the first time.
You ever hear you're going in meeting on our project in Grenada, you don't check any technocrats, then people who know. You go in for yourself and talk about you fought with the CDB. How river go win sea? You ever hear river win sea? River can beat sea. Because river run into the sea. So they go and fight with the CDB. That is what just last month we fought with the CDB and tell them. So we in for thing. All them agencies that you're talking about, they will go and tell them people and what to do, and people and go just slam the door on them. So sad.
Well.
So sad. Because all of us are losing, the country are losing, you're not them, you know.
But Carl, you remember that the Prime Minister said if the other Caribbean countries would not come together to improve on
you get plane.
Caribbean flights and
you list to plane.
That he will get planes.
Then he come back and say that easy to do.
The reality hit him. Then he said they can't buy planes. But so correct me on that. Maybe sometime you'll find the clipping. But he had to eat his words.
No, we had a clip on them. I tell you, we have a clip from now until the calls come home.
I know you're all doing an excellent job. Yeah. So, it's just mouth open, word jump out. But when you're a leader, when you're a prime minister of a country, you have to garner your information. You have to ensure that you're well informed before you make those kind of statements. You make rash statements during the campaign that we knew on our side could not be true. And we tried to stay true to the people and let them know what was doable and what wasn't doable. And even those things that were doable, that they had to be done with proper plans and timing. But that was not acceptable, and so they came with a lot of
pie in the sky
bling,
promises.
a lot of bling, glittering things.
That's the most promising government you ever had here.
The things that they knew were affecting people, and so they found ways. You tell them they deserve $650.
Yes.
And instead of that, you come back and you take away.
You tell them you're going to make all of them permanent.
Those kind of promises, like you playing with people, no respect, you don't give them dignity, and always it's the poor people who are going to suffer.
Only the poor man feel it.
And we the government approved to take back the freight taxes to 2019 pre-COVID time. And they said that it was supposed to benefit, the nation, not just the poor, anybody who goes to the supermarket or the little shop in the village. They should get a reduction in the cost of goods.
That'll happen.
Have we seen that?
Go up.
We have not seen that. And I remember they were asked, how will you ensure that the benefits are transmitted to the people? And they could not answer. Do you have any mechanism in place to monitor?
No.
No. Their plan was very direct. They knew who they were going to benefit.
Yeah, they know who they wanted to benefit.
They knew who they wanted to benefit. And everybody in Grenada should benefit. And that is why what we have to, people, whether people like NNP or not, would have to respect NNP for. NNP was a government of everybody. They protected the poor and the vulnerable, but also they protected the businessman. They protected the upper class persons too, because these are the business persons. And so they created the enabling environment, the conditions for those businesses to flourish and for things to happen. I mean, up to now, people are crying about what happened at Christmas, and what did not happen.
It's still a harm in them supermarket, and
Still problems. And every time you talk about something to happen, people are saying, the money don't there. The money is not there. And nothing is being done to stimulate business in the country. No jobs, new jobs are created. All they are doing is to wait for somebody's contract to up, or even before the contract ends, you send a little messenger to tell the person getting ready to go to work today, and you send a messenger to tell them that their work is no longer required, and you put somebody else there, unceremoniously discharging dismissing these people.
Somebody from New York could call you and tell you you're losing your contract. But Doc, I want you to just speak a bit. What is the COVID situation presently? Because I'm picking up some information that is not too nice.
Well, I saw something yesterday, and I can't say I was surprised, because I keep asking myself, how come you're hearing about COVID numbers in the U.S., China had so much problems, lockdown, whatever, they had a lot of demonstrations. And in other countries you're hearing, but we're hearing nothing. Not even programs that will say to people, COVID is not yet over, so let us be careful, let us be cautious, let us, be very mindful of this and act accordingly. And so, when I saw the numbers, I think it was 40-something positive cases. And that came from CAFA. That came from outside, an outside agency that does work for the region, They have a pool of highly trained and skilled technical persons to do testing and to advise and so on. But up to now, I have not heard anything. I could have missed it. And so if anybody's listening, heard any release from the from the government of Grenada, because I see all releases.
They put gag on people, they can't talk.
Yes. It is so sad. We're living in a very, very, very disturbing and troubling times. And the people who support it and say nothing, I want to ask them a question. Can they go, how they facing God with this? Because some of the religions did. And I have no problem with that, because all of them have rights. But if you back something that you thought was going to be good, and you find out it's not good, I think you have a right to say something too. Advise them, advise us, say something, beg them not to do that. And I'm not hearing enough of the voices that support it coming out and say, this is wrong. We have to fix it. We have to mend it. As a matter of fact, there are some people who are applauding what is being done, as long as it's done to the poor. These are the people we are supposed to protect and to serve. Very interestingly, these are the ones that we throw overboard. So it is very sad. I wanted to share some of these concerns where the country, and to use the term that you use, the country is being decolonized.
Yeah, they're decolonized.
Yes, it's being decolonized. The jobs for the boys, for the people. They promise the nation a young and vibrant
Nothing for young people.
Nothing for young people. But not only that, then they went behind our backs and took a set of advisors who I cannot say that they are young. I don't know any young ones they are, but the majority are not. So it's the hypocrisy of this thing and the misleading of the nation to believe that something new and fresh was going to happen. Something new has happened. A lot of new things. The way people are dismissed from their jobs, the way people are taken on in jobs.
Decolonized.
Let me tell you, there's a situation where there was a trained, highly competent lady supervising some persons who do home care. They brought a young lady, and I have nothing against youth. Somebody, the brightest minds, all in Silicon Valley and wherever, are youth, young people. So they have a lot to contribute to any country. But they have to have the knowledge. So you bring the person, and then when staff start to ask, how will our training continue? Will you be able to do the classes? No, I have to be trained first. And that is what training is for. That's the answer,
Same thing happening in FIA right now.
I'm going to be trained. So in the meantime, the supervision is not there. And of course, if the knowledge is not there, then the guidance is not there. So, if you're going to replace somebody with somebody who has the knowledge. And if you want to train somebody to replace that person eventually, then that is your prerogative. But to take somebody who knows nothing and put them in a position, taking a salary, and waiting for the time come when they're to be trained, and for the workers to be training them, I find that, that is despicable.
It is interesting. You made a point about the houses. And, one has to ask, because you're talking about they don't want to give the people the houses not ready. But they're finding $25,000 there about to rent one place for one man. And he have two advisors in some Ministry of Youth or maybe about $10,000 a month plus orders. It's some of that money I could use to fix a couple places.
Of course. Of course, do the very basic, because some people are desperate enough to take it and improve on it as they go along.
Yeah, and customize it to what they want it to be.
Customize it to whatever they want to. So, the promises, the empty promises continue. And the misuse of the nation's fund resources continue and the abuse
But the driver
of the
cannot
nation's
drive, eh?
human resources continue unabated, unashamedly, unconscionably. And, it's time we talk a little bit more about that. Sometimes I listen to programs, I listen to what people are saying. I prefer to let the people speak, but sometimes I have to say something because it is grossly unfair just for the boys and the girls who supported them to be given opportunities. And I heard a little secret. I wanted to explore. You might be able. I'm going to explore as well. That there are 10 scholarships for Cuba floating that we have.
I keep hearing that popping up because 3 a.m. this morning somebody has tell me about that, so we're doing some digging.
So we had to dig. So I'm not accusing yet. I'm just saying, let me just say a positive thing, that the indelible mark that NNP left, one of them was to secure training, continuing education, and the creation of professionals for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. The only lamentable thing I have about that is that we have not been able to keep as many of them as we would have liked to.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that has to be worked on. When people are trained, one of the first priority is to provide service to the country. That doesn't mean to say they have to stay in it forever.
No.
But if
They have to give back.
If everybody gives back a few years, 3, 4 years, 5 years, imagine a difference we would have in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So thank you for allowing me.
So, Doc, have a
Yes?
blessed day and a blessed weekend, and
You
take
have a
care and be
blessed day
safe.
too. And good morning, Carriacou, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Last thing, to say thanks to all of the people who supported the Breadfruit Fest. And thanks to your medium and other media houses who supported us in disseminating the information, in coming up to see, in taking some information to spread. And I want to encourage Grenadians. Let us eat what we grow. Let's grow what we live. Let us work on that import bill.
Mhm.
And let's work on the export. Let's send out more. Let's bring in less.
All right, so
and
thanks,
continue
Doc.
to build our country. Bye.
Bless. Okay. We'll take a break here, Igwe.
Mm-hmm.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the credit union of Grenville, takes you where you want to be. Feel secure with the Credit Union of Grenville, taking care of all your financial needs, including savings, loans, mortgages, and sound financial advice. Serving you with branches on Jubilee Street in Grenville, Lucas Street in St. George's, and coming soon, our Grandstand sub-office. Call us on 442-8602 or visit one of our offices. With Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, your financial security is guaranteed.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody! Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Epic Marriage Conference is back.
And we're calling all couples, single men and women, to join us.
March 24th through 26th in Grenada. Joining us Friday, March 24th is our guest speaker for the Single Men and Women session, none other than accomplished personal and life coach Stephanie J. Make plans to join Drs. Jason and Tanasha Gray and their guest speakers for an event you don't want to miss.
Meet us down at Gateway Conference Center, Point Celine, St. George's. Tickets are on sale now.
Contact us at 449-5872 or 459-8567. Tickets can be purchased at Grenadian Optical, branches located at Melville Street, St. George, and Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse, St. George. Pick up your tickets today. The Epic Marriage Conference, Roadmap to Intimacy. See you there.
Hey now, listen to this and listen carefully. At Low Tongue Sauteurs is the best little seafood restaurant on this lovely island. Bacon shark, steamed fish, fish and chips, and the daily catch. Whatever that may be, we have it for you. To complement this, you can have the most tasty sorrel, golden apple, ginger, and passion fruit drinks, all locally made, just as you know it to taste. As you visit our restaurant, take some time to browse through our super convenience store, where you will find an item which has not been seen for so long. We offer you the best prices on t-shirts and unisex vests, casual and dress shirts, and the widest range of body oils. For whatever the occasion, find the fragrance, be it male or female. For you and only you, we have a wide variety of headphones and chargers. So here's what: visit for the food, the bar, or the store, and stay for the others, because you never know what surprise is in store for you. We're open from 9 to 9 Monday to Saturday. Sunset Restaurant.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an X-car and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with my wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With much new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive.
As far as I'm concerned, by October, November, we don't have an arrangement where us as leaders in the OECS are prepared to do that, then it means that Grenada has to go and lease 2 planes so that we can fly between Grenada and Barbados, Grenada and Trinidad. We will have to do so.
5 months later.
But it requires cooperation from all the region, because you can't just fly between Grenada and Carriacou. You have to fly Barbados, St. Vincent, so you need all of the islands to take part. You need all of the islands to be prepared to give the airline operator the rights to fly into their country. And if you don't have those things in place, air travel isn't going to come down. But it requires regional cooperation. It's not something that an individual island can do alone. Even if we bought a plane, we need the rights to travel into other islands, right? And we don't have enough traffic. 100,000 people, we simply don't have enough traffic to maintain a commercial airline that just carries people.
Yes, certain things a man must say, and yes, certain things you don't say at all.
So, welcome, Mr. Pierre. So when the Prime Minister say we go lease 2, it means we have to lease 2 planes. He didn't consider those things he say after.
Thank you for being on the program. It's the embarrassment. Grenada led for many decades, Grenada led in a lot of respect. The trade union is well respected in the Caribbean. Our politicians, the police is well respected in the Caribbean. And now we have this individual bringing straight embarrassment to our country. You know, and that's a challenge that we have. From the time Dick Mitchell was named to lead the party, I went back in my cocoon and studied the individual. And we brought an individual who did not have a clue what is going on in the country. They sold him as a man with deep pockets and plenty contact. Because he was a corporate lawyer, they believe that all the lawyers were behind him. And he's going to continue to create this embarrassment. And now I'm convinced that he's a fake. And eventually, in the words of the Minister of Labor and Attorney General, this decolonization of this country is going to cause irreparable damage to the economy. It could also cause dysfunction in the community because the government doesn't seem to have any plan to make new jobs.
Yeah, abandoned like carnival.
No, even the government, this is the saddest thing, you know. I believe whether you're NNP or you're NDC, you must take into consideration Grenada and the direction we are going fast. In under a year, government has not created one new job. We don't know exactly what the government macroeconomic policy is. We don't have a clue what the agriculture policy is. The government have made promises that they double backing on. They cannot keep one promise, not one. And they are more and more becoming laughable. It's so disappointing when the government snub the institution that provides financial assistance to us. They snub them, you know, and you lose $70 million. And the government behaving as a little child Christmas time. Serious issue going on. The ministers behaving like children. And at some time we have to speak. Maybe I know it is difficult for the members of the National Democratic Congress now. They're slightly embarrassed. They're disappointed. But what you think would happen 1 year from now? 1 year from now when you have difficulties to pay salaries? You know, this is the issue. What would happen? We have to face the tune.
What gets me, Mr. Pay, and you touch on it and you say we snob. And people taking this thing very lightly. Because if the MIT minister, Ministry of Mischief, says, his words, you know, we told the Caribbean Development Bank that we are not in favor of the procurement rules which requires international bidding for a project to be implemented in Grenada. If you have the audacity, if you have the gumption to go and tell these people and them these things, these people and them realize you're serious and you don't know what's going on. As soon as you say that, they realize, hey, this guy, well, something not wrong. Because we're living in a global village, Mr. Pierre, with rules, convention, agreements. And part of the agreements, when you ask these people and them for assistance, there's structure to how it happens. They wouldn't break the rule for you. So going in Barbados and losing 70 million and coming back nonchalant, like if nothing happened, you have to realize the mindset of the people, they don't really care about Grenada. You have to realize that this thing is about a personalized something. It's about them. Because they still come back. After you lose 70 million on the Western Main Road project, Mr. Pierre, They come back here and taking out a bunch of photos and things like nothing happened. So the lives and livelihood of the Grenadian public is no matter to them. Because once they get paid, once facilities is created for their benefit, they don't worry. And at the end of the day, it's the Grenadian public that would suffer. And as you say, 1 year from now, when the thing happen with the salary, and they can't pay maybe the same CDB and they might have to go and ask for assistance, could you tell them, you know, thing with their procurement policies and so on? And as you say, this thing is bordering on the line of being laughable, like a prank. You know, like you say, somebody prank you. This government operating like they prank Grenada. Because, Mr. Pierre, listen this. Those promises made, and we need to speak of some. And at the time they made those promises, Mr. Pierre, they knew. They ought to have known it was not possible. 2,500 houses. They know that was possible. Because they didn't take everything into consideration.
3,500 is 500 houses in each parish.
Then, permanent to all contract workers, they know that was impossible. They only get through the payment of retroactive and pension because the NNP leave money in the treasury, Mr. Pierre. They pay the teachers the dark salary and the High Court rule that it was illegal. They tell us they go even trap seaweed. They say they go make all the imanis permanent. They speak all the minimum wage and they so beat up on NNP or healthcare. Right now, healthcare is the worst in this country. They speak all the pay and grade for police officers and fix all police stations. Now they going a different thing. They speak all the removal of VAT for 1 year. So this thing come like a prank. When you listen all what they say now and you put it into context now, Mr. Pierre, was like a prank, like a joke, like tomfool. And that is what we're grappling with. And they're not man enough, Mr. Pierre, to come and say, by watch. We want to get into government, so we say that, but the reality of the situation is that they're still trying to defend it. Some still trying to defend it. And that is the sad part, Mr. Pierre.
But you still have encouragement from some individuals. Because when the individual, I always say, I have the greatest respect for Willie. Willie is a strategic expert on public policy analyst. People like this ought to open their mouth and help the government with some direction rather than encouraging them and practically encouraging them to ignore genuine calls.
It's like enabling them to do that.
Of course. And I ask, why do you feel it is necessary that you must be on that train? At this stage, with this level of academic education, with this prestigious position, you don't have to be on a train that don't good. Obviously, the Minister of the Attorney General and the Minister of Labor, that is the deepest call so far. We have to be straight with people. She's pointing out we're going down the wrong road. We're going to cause serious damage to the economy. We may even cause irreparable damage to the economy. You see the government go in Barbados and snub the financial institution. They disrespect them. They fight with them, they claim. And they lost 70 million. A gentleman in the rum shop asked me what I mean by that. I said, let us suppose you and I have a discussion about $1,000. And I likely to benefit from it. You lending me, you giving me. And I send me a little child to come to have discussion with you. And when you ask her, where daddy? He say, daddy, take a ride and he go down the road. What would you do? This is what the government doing. The government snubbed the financial institution. Look at the attitude of the government towards Cuba. We in Grenada have to wake up. You know. We cannot pretend that we don't know, you know. The writing is on the wall. The government is on the wrong direction. Look at the attitude to the elderly, the physically challenged, and even disadvantaged children. And I tell individuals, I challenge individuals, play the devil's advocate. When you meet the strong, loudmouth NDC, the politicos, the people that was defending NDC, ask them some question and listen to them. If they stand up to talk with you, they jump straight and blame NNP. They can't defend it. They cannot defend what is going on. Inside they're boning, they're disappointed, they're embarrassed, they're angry, they cannot defend it. And this thing is not about NNP and NDC. This situation is about Grenada. We're going down a trajectory that we'll have to go back and fund the International Monetary Fund on our knees. We'll have to go back to them begging. They're going to immediately make Grenada put tax on NIS and pension benefit. Government may have to increase the tax on pensioners. They're going to drop the tax threshold. Don't believe me? Ask the union leaders. The same union leaders that has lost their ability to speak. Ask them. And I want Dr. Bob to ask them. At least you heard my remarks and you reacted. I only reference your name because Dick Mitchell identify you as an individual that is objective. And I know you enjoy the fact that the Prime Minister of Grenada identify you. That is a real advertisement for you. So I challenge you now. Go to the trade union leaders and ask them what would happen if the Attorney General concerns come to a reality. You see, it is not fair what is going on in Grenada. Every time we have a crisis of that magnitude, the ordinary man are the one to feel it the most. Big companies and people with discretionary income might make less money, but they will be able to meet their bills, but they might make less money. Government would cut social programs. And the caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
How are you? Good morning.
Great.
Yeah, I was looking at some areas that, from my point of view, that need some sort of a concerning, like the police. I'm looking like places like between Upper Lafayette, Town, Paraclet. I'm looking like we could have something like a station somewhere around the police station, maybe in Moncton, around Moncton Estate to serve Upper Lafayette, Paraclet, Moncton, maybe Patamaribo. I'm looking at to have a mini one between Moya and Conference to serve between Moya, because you have. So what we're looking at, breaking the span that for calls you could have a shorter run from police moving, and then looking at somewhere between St. James and between Ladig to cover Ladig, St. James, Union, Mama Can, and so forth. So I don't know. I think that those intermediate little stations would be useful for us. So I don't know. I hope people in authority might be looking into that from my views here this morning.
Yes, caller, thank you. Caller, we have to be very careful with those suggestions. Grenada is a small country. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Hello, good morning. Mr.
Yes, caller, welcome.
And Sir Keaton and so on. I listened to the Honorable MP for St. Mark's, Dr. Modest, in a statement, very, very touching, And I want to say to her, continue speaking out, advocating for our people, you know. The basic necessities of life, food, clothing, and shelter. And it's really hurting to see how the marginalized and the less fortunate people's lives are being trodden down and trampled upon by losing their jobs and many other issues that affect them, you know, and that gives rise to a lot of discussions and advocating for them because it's the necessities of life to buy food for the children, clothing, shelter. There are many people who living in rent houses and are waiting to go apply to go to those houses that been built in the villa and in Corinth and those places, Carriacou. Some of them living the house burnt and they're living in rent places to be placed in those homes. Battered women, you know, with their children living at people still. I mean, you know, the situation, the contradictions are happening on the ground. And when you listen to our people, there is a university out there where the ordinary poor man will tell you what this government is doing and even offering solutions. So it's not easy at this time, and I'm calling on Grenada as we in this Lenten period to pray for families and to pray for those persons that are hurting our brothers and sisters. And I want to say in closing that when a government does not pay heed to the ordinary man, create opportunities for them for survival, you know, you're talking about the place dead and all. When the poor man don't have money to spend, who going to the market to buy items? Who going on the bus to move around to do their shopping? Who looking after the elderly and have to go to look for them, buy pampers, buy medication and so on? So the contradictions are happening. And I'm calling on the NNP to be strong, advocate, and stand on the rights of the people. And those who in office believe everything is nice and dandy. And they're telling people, we're giving them one propaganda, lies, and deceit again. And we're getting all of them to vote for us again. So I say to you, NNPites and Grenadians, be wise and support the party and that will be in the government to work for all of our people in Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatnik. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, caller. Yes, Mr. P, as you were saying. Another call? Yeah. Let me take it.
Good morning to all the gentlemen there.
Yes, morning, Clifford.
Good morning.
Yes. Well, first of all, let me congratulate the minister for the ex-minister for St. Mark's. Yeah, Miss Modest. I thought she was a nice breath of fresh air this morning. And
always.
And she touched some very nice points there. While hoping to hear more of them and more often coming from the different parliament representatives. You all have to talk out a little more. You have to keep people in the know and to criticize the government when they make those mistakes. So hats up for that. I hear the Minister of Mobilization talking about a pilot project they're doing. And the gentleman have the nerves to say that, forgetting that this is a project that was started by the NMP. He's talking about in St. John, they're going to put on a pilot project. The NMP bought the land and made preparation already for that project. And he's doing now like it's a project coming from the NDC. I mean, that's tomfoolery. You know, harmful people like that. Everybody go have no. Yeah. That Mr. That Mr. Pierre. Well, yes, sir. Everybody know that this thing have been done already. The road in that area they have been done. We remember they has a problem with the gentleman when he moving out of the house and whatnot. That is the same area they stony gone. So it's not a new project coming in there, and you make a promise to the people that you're going to have how much 500 houses in every parish for year for the next 5 years. That is almost impossible.
It's not almost impossible. It's impossible.
Look at you can't even fix just cupboards you have to put in the houses that build. You said they would the people that got them for Christmas. You can't handle that yet. You said that you mobilize carpenters. So what you tell me, the carpenters are not competent to put in cupboards in house? You can't have none finished yet. Cupboards you say though that they was putting in, and you telling me that the carpenter you tell us that you had a series of carpenters there. Are you telling me that it's going to take 3-4 months to put in the cupboards in the house? I heard the man talking about furniture and how they're getting furniture and the furniture that they get in here is better furniture than whatnot. He doesn't know that the NMP has started that furniture making in such already in Snellhall. I mean, these people trampling people. So we need those ministers and those ex-ministers and the top-ranking NMPs to come out and explain make those statements.
Color, just one intervention. If we have ordinary Grenadians pointing out the situation to individuals, as soon as the politicians speak, we say that politics. We have ordinary individuals and explaining it, and you know with logic, know these things are not true, and it's not possible. What more people want? Remember what Christ said with Lazarus.
Perhaps they don't want to hear it from me, they want to hear it from me.
But remember what Christ told the man when he asked to send Lazarus. He said, even though Lazarus come from the dead, you people still don't believe. TUC Kawana in Guyana, he said they have to feel it in their belly. So maybe now a lot of people realize what the National Democratic Congress saying was planned lies. Color, they sat down in a lab, they sit down in a room and make these lies. And people accept it. So what we need to do now is to explain to people the impracticality of these lies.
Yeah,
you have to expose it.
You're right to an extent. But I mean, it's sickening when people make those things. Like they believe nobody was living in Grenada, and nobody wasn't there. You take a project that is well made already, and telling people about you about pilot project in St. John.
Colin, look at this 70 million that was lost. If you have to discuss this issue, you have to send senior officers. You can't send your junior officers to go and discuss this thing. The permanent secretary, the minister of finance, you have to seek assistance from Timothy Antoine. And since you're going in Barbados, you have to pay a courtesy call on Mia Motley. So you have to ask for intervention. They go there and fight with the people and lose 70 million.
Again, you talk about that. I mean, just imagine a minister telling you that they talk to the people and let them know that they're not satisfied. This is an understanding, a worldwide understanding, that if people lend you money or giving you money under that condition. So what you go in there now and tell them that, what difference does it make?
But based upon who you send, they go stop stripping this. If you have to come and discuss a serious issue with me, you could send your grandchild.
I think we going a little.
That is what we do, you know. The Minister of Finance flying all around as a glad boy, and he refused to go. He is the Minister of Finance, the permanent secretary. You have to send high-ranking technical officers to explain. You send the Minister of Mischief.
But I thought every minister by now in government should know and must know that when you bidding for these overseas projects, the World Bank open them to all other countries and anything. They just heard what happened with the Marine Road. A St. Lucian company gets so. When you tell me that this fellow them don't have enough.
But how can we know that and we don't run for election? Yes. Thank you, Color.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Color. Thank you. I mean, the ordinary man on the street knows his issue. That is why I always ask, who sent Dick Mitchell? And I think more and more we have to ask these questions. Because if you're going to represent Grenada after this track record we have, after the financial institution been applauding the efforts made by Grenada, you're practically turning back the hand of the clock. And every Grenadian will be affected. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
Carl.
I'll go in here, man. You good?
Yeah, along with this is a holiday call.
Yeah.
But I want to tell our last caller, when I go to the Northwest, like Brizan people hardly get in station, right? So as I reach, get up the latest. They make everybody come and get up the latest. Because I listen to station and a campaign. Sometimes we don't need Kit Mitchell and the NMP people. We don't need to hear them because we listen to the station. And that station is the parliament and we get everything. So most of them I don't really call, but I listen all the time. And I campaign. Campaigning because you all giving us the real facts. Kit Mitchell, this modest, when she come on the station, she will say things that you all telling people every day. You understand? People in the Northwest hardly get a station, like I tell you when I go down there. Yeah. Give us the latest.
And we always...
And I will explain, and they love that. Yeah. A lot of people listen to the station, they don't call.
Yeah.
But they're going around campaigning. So hats up to you all.
Yeah.
I love it.
And Color, we always dare them and challenge them on the truth, you know.
Yeah,
when we speak, we dare them, and if they shake the truth out of them, we tie it back on them.
Yeah, I'm the pay watcher. You and Carl Caton, they're afraid of you.
Well, they don't supposed to afraid us because you speak the truth.
Yeah, because I know the truth hurt.
The truth could burn you, it could hurt you, but I think Grenadians have to start to face the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah? Thank you.
I even listen to Calistra.
Yeah.
When I listen to Calistra, said, he fought Dr. Mitchell, how he treat the nation so nice. Right? I listen to another woman again who hate Dr. Mitchell. She's the NDC, and right now she calling the kind of liar.
Yeah. Well, you see the truth. Once you're dealing with the truth, and it's a good thing to listen to different people. Don't listen to us alone, listen to them. And College China must face the truth. Because if these journalists don't face the truth, their significance will be diluted.
Yes, I wonder people, the NDC people now will never listen to that tape with Calistra and the guy from Carriacou.
They tend to walk away from the truth.
Yes. So, when I listen.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Color. I think we have to, Chester Humphrey, sometimes I say in the rum shop, 3 communities here in Grenada. Chester Humphrey, John Galt, and me. Because those individuals in the diaspora, who claim they're communists, all of them in America and in the capitalist world. Yes, Color, welcome. Yes, Color, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Igwe.
Yeah, my brother, welcome.
Yeah. I'm looking at NMP and the NDC. Okay, and what I recognize it promises NMP will never meet unrealistic promises.
There's a two total different political party. You know? The NNP always seek the interests of the ordinary man.
6 inches of the ordinary person.
The NDC always come with a bag of lie, and then people throw them out for 10 years. They go in a lab and they come back with a bag of lie again.
Exactly. Right? Just as how they accuse China from the COVID-19 coming from a lab in China, just so NDC went in an NDC lab in Grenada and they manufactured a set of lies.
They always do that.
Always do that. And they always deceiving the Grenadian people. Because look, you tell the people you will build 500 houses in every parishes. That's a lie. That's an impossible lie. That can happen.
That's 3,500 houses a year, you know. Right? And let's not forget about 5. Let's say you multiply by 4 years. That's 14,000 houses.
Exactly.
They can't even give people $150. They could give 14,000.
You told the people again, you will make them permanent. There will be one public service. There is no parallel public service. What you did, you will make them permanent. There only one be one.
Caller, you there?
The phone cut.
Yeah, caller, I think you cut.
It was easy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, what I'm saying.
You tell them you're going to make them permanent. There is no need for a parallel public service.
You said immediately you're making permanent.
By the stroke of a pen.
No parallel public service.
By the stroke of a pen.
After sending home, you still cut out on them, the poor class of people, and these people who need the seed money. You go on the radio and station and tell the government will keep people in poor because the seed, who get the seed, they should get 350,
650 based upon World Health Organization.
Right? So you give the people the impression that you voted for you. You will raise it up to over 650. What you did, you cut out from the 350, you cut out from the 2 something you're getting, right? And you still under that again, you still add more tax upon the people that were getting it.
You raise the price of water, electricity, and the price of sugar, and he dropped the price of condom and he posing.
You understand? You drop the price of it. Right? And how could we as Ghanaians keep our mouth shut and don't say that we have to speak about the wrong things that the government is doing? You have to speak about it. Right? You cannot be treating people so. Because the same stuff, we will not remain young forever. We will get old, and sometimes we will need people to help us. Right? And a government duty is to help everyone in the country. The less fortunate, you have to help them. That's what people elect you for, not to help yourself. And to help your big ones, but to help the poor and the needy in the country all over the world to go. There are people that the government have to reach out help. Right?
Thank you, Colin. It is not only NNP that affected. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, caller, welcome. Welcome.
Morning. People, good morning.
Morning.
I just want to say good morning to everybody in this country.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Grenada.
Yes, morning, Grenada. Karku, Matnik, everybody, and home and abroad. Mr. Carl, well, I day home still, I don't even want to go. Because every day I go down, I have to put out clothes. Nobody don't buy nothing. We don't have money. And as a small business, is a 1 case of beer I just buy and a 1 case of water. It is really, really hard for we the poor people in this country. And when you speak, you have the program and you call and you speak, people come and throw slow to you and tell you all kind of things. And, it is so sad. The lady was speaking about people that need the houses. You have people that are working and they send them home and they have a rent to pay to the landlord. How they making it? I don't know. If Mr. Andal, and Miss Gloria and these people inside there, if they're not thinking about women, single parents, them is women. They have wives. Some of the ministers, they have wives, they have girl children. And to know that people is suffering and they won't tell the Prime Minister, Dr. Mitchell, well, sir, we can't go down that road because there's people out there. I don't know how they could sleep with themselves or sit down and have a breakfast and a dinner and you have people out there suffering. These are people that went to people and begged them to vote for them. And they vote for them. I know one lady that working in the marketing board. She whole household is NDC supporters. Nothing wrong with that. And she lost her job now. She lost her job yesterday. She keep passing with an envelope, which she had done because people know the role she play in the marketing board on Young Street. And she's going home. And there is others that have kids that living all the way in Saturday. They had to come down to work. And they have children going to school. What's going on? When you speak, they have a doom, they run in the mouth on everybody in Grenada. It is not right. These people cannot pray because they're doing the wrong thing. You have to tell the man, we're not doing the right thing. When I hear clips that they keep playing what the man promised, and next day we have another clip, he says something else. I don't like to hear his voice, you know. I can't tell how you don't play them clips.
Yeah, but we need to be tolerant to...
Yeah,
but we have to be tolerant to everybody. Because that's what democracy is all about.
Mr. Perry, I understand that, but I'm just saying, me personally, I don't like to hear his voice.
You have to try.
Because you can tell it, look at the Cubans. I work with the Cuban doctors, you know. I work with the first set of Cuban doctors that came to Grenada after the revolution, the Tonbagari revolution. Austin, Blanche. I work with these people washing the clothes and cooking, you know. And you disrespect them, you don't even acknowledge these people the day of the independence and the celebration they had in the park. Dr. Modest, good morning. She's one of our students that went to Cuba.
A little hero, man.
Yeah.
And she always calling on the programs.
The guy resident is there from Chantimel. Swallow one there. The other one in Concord. See with the NDC now. So many Grenadians that benefit from Cuba. You don't even tell them thanks. Ungratefulness is a cost, man. And all these people inside there ain't saying nothing. Nothing. And the case on the medication, there is some medication you cannot get because I use Voltaren for pain. And you cannot get injection. That is a fact. You can get the tablet, they have the tablet. But you don't get the Voltaren injection to ease pain and other medication because everybody, some people is not saying anything. Some again they're talking. You have to watch around before they talk. One busman from Riverside, he tells me this is the best days he making all the money. And the others, he's saying nothing. They're grumbling. Some of them grumbling. Grenadians, speak out. Speak out. What is happening to you? The light bill, the water bill. You have to, you know, it is so sad. But I am not afraid by the terror by night. You understand? I'm not afraid. Because I know the God I serve. And I will not call no radio and lie. Because I know the God I serve. And they do not lot of wrong things. All these women in the cabinet can stand up, run, Andrews, Iron can stand up and speak out for the Grenadian people. These are your neighbors, you know. These are your neighbors when you're in the house and you look out, you see your neighbor. You have people that the children have to walk to school because their parents, they don't have the fortnight again. One lady in town sent home a whole set of, even my grandson, she meet Sheldon now and want to beat him. You understand? Look at the police officers. I see the hard work the police officers is doing. People are respect what the police know. They want to be them. And then police tired.
The police are getting paid. They can't tire. They have to do their work.
They're doing their work, but they're tired, Mr. Ted. I see that every day.
You see, we have a country to build and we have to continue.
Oh God, have mercy.
We
And
can't.
you promise the police don't you think?
Yeah, the police should know the government line. The police is trained to be suspicious. They should have been suspicious.
A lot of them vote, and that is what they vote for.
Well, that is their
what we
fault.
vote for. I didn't vote for them. Papa God, no, I didn't vote for them.
Yeah.
But I just saw it that I don't have for myself, and every day somebody coming to beg me for money to pay.
Yeah, but don't give away all the money just so, because sometimes you have individuals that play. Yeah, we have to take a break. Thank you for calling, but we have to take a break now.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Have a good day, Grenada.
Yes.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update as produced by Triple N. Details when we get back.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Welcome back locally. Tafawa Pear, Deputy Commissioner of Police, has become the first Grenadian and, by extension, a citizen of CARICOM to receive the Great Wall Commemorative Silver Medal established by the Ministry of Public Security of the People's Republic of China in 2020. In the region, in Barbados, Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs Kirk Humphrey has dismissed the idea of introducing universal basic income in Barbados. Responding to a question from Senior Minister Dr. Williams D. Good on the feasibility of such a system in Barbados during debates on the 2023-2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure, he said UBI was not a realistic concept for a small island developing nation like Barbados. Around the globe, Harvey Weinstein sentenced to 16 more years in jail.
The disgraced Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein was sentenced on Thursday by a court in Los Angeles to 16 more years in jail for rape. The 70-year-old is already serving a 23-year prison term for a separate conviction in New York. Before Thursday's sentencing, Weinstein, seated in a wheelchair, professed his innocence and implored the judge to grant him mercy. The charges stem from an assault on a former model and actress at a Los Angeles hotel in 2013. Identified in court as Jane Doe 1, the victim cried as she said she'd been a very happy and confident woman until Weinstein raped her. She said, "I lost my identity. I thought for sure that no one could love me. I was heartbroken, empty and alone." Weinstein insisted he did not know Jane Doe 1 and argued that she had fabricated her account for money. The Los Angeles jury acquitted Weinstein of charges relating to a second alleged victim and failed to reach a unanimous verdict on charges arising from two other accusers. Defense attorneys argued that the women willingly had sex with Weinstein because they believed he would advance their careers. In two of the cases, they said the alleged sexual contact was fabricated. Thursday's sentencing increases the chances that Weinstein will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
And in sports, Britain's Andy Murray reached his first ATP semi-final since June by going the distance again to beat French qualifier Alexandre Muller at the Qatar Open. Murray, 35, fought back to win 4-6, 6-1, 6-2 against 26-year-old Muller, who was playing in his first ATP quarterfinal. This ends the latest news update as produced by Triple N. I was your presenter Maxine Antoine, thanking you for joining us.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour. From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness, keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most: your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
Do you know you can lower your electricity bill by changing the way you do laundry? Front-loader washing machines are designed to reduce electricity and water consumption. When upgrading, buy with this in mind. You can also lower your electricity bill by doing full loads of laundry, using the sunlight to dry your clothes, and ironing in bulk. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by changing the way I do laundry. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
is wrong with Trinidad. You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an X-car and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive.
I'm happy that any loans, if affordable, is made available to citizens of Grenada. The issue is not whether that's not the issue. The issue is you've placed a large group of Grenadian workers on contract. You've placed them in a position where they are unable to borrow through the normal financial institutions by putting them in a position where they do not have sustainable or sustained employment. And what that means is that you've made them vulnerable. You've put them in a position where you now have to try and create a special lending scheme for them to borrow. And I'm saying even the special lending scheme that you've created, most of them are not going to qualify for the loan. And they're not going to qualify because you've already placed them in a position to disqualify them. Because they would not have acquired land. They would not have life insurance because they're working on 6 months or 12-month contracts. And if they're working, and if the jobs they are doing are permanent jobs, jobs that are normal customer requirements for the government, they should be indefinite employees or permanent employees. They should not be on contract work. And if they're not on contract work, they will be able to take part, like the rest of the persons who are on permanent jobs, in the normal banking and financial and the credit union systems in Grenada. Right. And that is how you create wealth.
Absolutely.
That is how you sustain and raise your standard of living. That is how you're able to save money. That is how you acquire a home or acquire a piece of land, or you're able to start a small business on the side. But when you put people on contract work, and when there is no need to do so, then you are putting them in a vulnerable position, and you are doing so deliberately. And so the question you have to ask is, why are you doing so?
Yep.
And in my view, you are doing so because you want to have the ability to fire them at will. So you want to create job insecurity because you want to be able to manipulate them for your own for your own ulterior reasons.
Right.
Right. So let's make this clear. For those contract workers who are able to qualify for that GDP loan, I'm happy for them. But a significant number of them will not be able to qualify.
Right.
And the question is, when they don't qualify, what happens to them? They remain on contract work. So what has to be addressed is the fact that the government has to end this contract work, absorb the employees because they are doing jobs that are normal, customary, and required. Let's take, for example, a cook in a school. If you have a school feeding program, that job is required indefinitely. There is no reason to put a cook on a contract work.
Right.
And remember, when you put her on contract work, she has no pension. She has no chance of getting health insurance. She has no chance of buying life insurance because the incomes are very low.
Yep.
Right. And if you go to buy these things, they will say to you, well, we have no guarantee that you will have a job 6 months from now or 12 months from now. And so no one wants to deal with you from a financial perspective when you're in that position.
Right.
And I'm saying the job of the citizens, of the government, is to fight for its citizens, to protect its citizens, to encourage its citizens to be independent, not dependent, not vulnerable. So that is the challenge we face. And I'm saying it is solvable by the stroke of a pen.
Yep.
And let me make this further point. It is actually illegal. The Employment Act clearly says that you cannot put someone on a fixed-term contract, meaning these short-term contracts, when the position they are filling is an indefinite one. So the government itself is breaking the law. The government itself is being lawless. So I'm saying in those circumstances, they should in fact end the contract work, regularize the status of their employees, and any other incentives that should be offered to them to make up for the period that they've been on contract jobs, in fact, should be given to them.
Mr. Pierre, the Honorable Prime Minister mentioned the Employment Act. Presently, this administration is violating Section 84, Sections 29.5, Section 74.1, Section 74.2a, Section 75d, and Section 75e. Because the Prime Minister knows about the Employment Act, because he mentioned it, and he knows about violating the Act. And even with the Workers at Marketing Board, Section 84, I pick up something in the news, Mr. Pierre, as it relates to Marketing Board, and I want us to just speak a bit about it. Now, here is this information out there that persons, Workers Marketing Board should, on Tuesday, I think the 1st or whatsoever, go to the Treasury with, I think, the NIS card and some other thing, to be paraded to get the severance pay. You find that thing making sense, Mr. Pierre, when they would have already have all these people bank information? What is the purpose of bringing them to parade in the ministry on Tuesday, Mr. Pierre? Added humiliation. Where is the union representing the people of them in all that, Mr. Pierre? Seeing that you are little experience with the union, I want you to speak a bit on that.
Well, I think the saddest part about Marketing Board is the pretentiousness of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister pretended to have some inclination to socialism. And that is significant. That is why he was able to attract the Grenadian communists in America. And that he knows that a lot of people in Grenada have some level of sympathy and love for Maurice Bishop. So he attempted to use neophytes to evoke Maurice Bishop's spirit to get the support. And then the Prime Minister planned to get rid of Marketing Board. Caller, welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, I want to ask, good morning to everybody.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, welcome.
I want to ask a question. When are you playing the tape, if nobody does not listen, not everybody in society, some of them, because some of them, before you say something, they always come in and want to backbite you like Dover. I listening this tape every time. Every click a turn, I'll play a tape and listening what's saying. You know, the last what Sunday is that when Mr. Hodekalim have this Prime Minister having him with the program. And hear what the man going to say. And it's the thing, if we listen, understand myself, if some of we Grenadians listen, we read, and we understand, we knowing what is fake and what is true. Before you open your mouth and you call the program, somebody ready to devour you. And you just tell me, cool my temperature.
Yeah, you have to cool. To take them on, you have to be cool.
Yes, but
because they want, that's what they want to do. They sometimes they call the program to distract it, to claim that you're not giving them an opportunity.
If I on the road and I meet these people and they're talking stupidness, give me. You know me.
I like to listen to them, ask them a question and listen. And I like to beg them, don't run. Stand up. Face the truth.
Mr. Pierre, just as they're defending theirs, I'm defending mine too.
Yeah.
You check it out. Just now, people who get in NIS will never get NIS when you lay it all over.
Of course, NIS is on the wrong path.
The people who get in pension on NIS every month would not get NIS just now.
I agree with you. NIS is on the wrong path.
Oh.
They're tricking people.
Marketing board. Yesterday I listened what I can say, marketing board need to fix. You know who board member don't come, you know who agriculture man don't come, you know whoever boss man, whosoever. And they're not coming with the right direction for marketing board. Dr. Mitchell could have do just as what they can do now.
100 workers, over 100 workers lost their job, and farmers are affected.
He could have do the same thing, but all he telling himself, he closed marketing board. He don't have jobs to invest to give the people who he let go. So that is why he helping out the people in society. And if nobody not see, oh, Dr. Mitchell who calls marketing board to be like that. How that marketing board have board, he have management, he have all set of people inside marketing board to fix things to do right. That's what they pay them to do. And they're not doing the right thing. All who go there, politics, they go in and play. And when they finish, they do the things and the man close the marketing board, we have to talk about it because the people will let go. Where we putting them? What we giving them?
Over 100 people added to the more than 1,000 already that lost their job.
Yeah, but what we giving them to do?
Nothing. Stewing and sun sauce.
Monday come in. They don't sure they get in a day work. All who from since June month coming right up to February. A lot of employment.
And caller, you're going to see people in the private sector dropping out people too because the economy is contracting.
Just know these people and they want to see what's going on there. They're not giving you work. They're not employing you with no job. You don't have a daily bread. When before they raise the water, they raise the light, they raise
they raise sugar.
They raise the grocery, not sugar alone. They raise the grocery price in the supermarket. And you want to tell me now? What tell them? You don't watching what's going on? We not seeing things what's going on. And who coming on the radio and beating them out and want to defend these people and them and see them and them and crucify Christ. Then kind of people and them are going to hang Jesus in there.
Well, sometimes they didn't hang Jesus, but they didn't believe. Sometimes they stay on the side while he was being hung.
Don't give me that. Yes. They hang Jesus and they crucify him. Because if you see good things and you're saying something in the right direction, why they have to come in and defend this man?
Well, it is difficult to handle the truth when you are accustomed in propaganda and lies. It's very difficult. And it's some people...
Yeah, they're telling you just now. When you hear the time for election, you will see job. You don't know where job coming out.
Yeah.
And that is how we going to brainwash it.
And then we go stand the consequences.
And that is how we just brainwash.
TC Kawana say we go fill it in with belly.
We brainwash for permanent, we brainwash for raise a pay, we brainwash for pension, we brainwash for all sorts of things. We get in houses, we get in whatsoever, we get in pool, we get in all kind of things. And this start, the budget cannot start January. The budget he really can't start January. And he would, if he can't start January, he wouldn't start the whole year going back. And
yes.
Inside in this thing and then, every time I hear people talk, I get in vexed.
But that is a good time for you to stay cool. When people get in vexed, stay cool.
Let me tell you something. I don't have a day work, but if I have a day work and who talking there, you check it out? You have to put your foot in somebody's shoes.
Yeah.
A human being.
I understand the feeling, Color. Thank you.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Nobody not killing me, but I don't know. That's when I hear things like that.
Yes. Thank you, Color. You see the challenge that yes, Color, welcome. Welcome, Color.
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, go right ahead.
As you guys on the marketing board issue, I don't know how many Grenadians see what's going on. Marketing board is the one responsible for importing sugar. And you see what happened? They increased the price of sugar and then they break up the marketing board. Right? the marketing board, they dissolve the marketing board, increase the price of sugar. And it's going to take effect on the 1st of March. The board of marketing board, the new people is going to take effect on the 1st of March. What that's simply saying to you is, the guys who is taking over marketing board, the Prime Minister making sure that they have money. And look what happened.
Boots on the ground.
They also relaxed the VAT. Right? They give amnesty on the same increase. They give amnesty. So the big friend who he bringing in to run marketing board, he making sure that he has money. We didn't see that because I've been listening to the program for almost a year and something now, and we didn't see this one. Also, they talk about jobs. How many jobs did this new administration made for since they came into power?
0.
We Grenadians, we shouldn't be surprised. They said they was going to create employment. He said he was going to increase the minimum wage. The only increase that took place was their salary got increased. They increased their money. Nobody else didn't get no increase. Also, the results of the election, we shouldn't be surprised of what we getting, of what happening now. Because one Calypsonian song that NNP got a 649, but not NNP got 649, it's the whole of Grenada got a 649.
I agree.
Because we got a 619 because that is what we having now. Is 619 we have. Because they lied for us right through. You know? Also, the state of things in Grenada, I'm not living in Grenada, but I have a lot of contacts. The state of things in Grenada right now. Look at what's happening. They are attacking women. And the Prime Minister dropped the price of condoms. And they are attacking women. Women left, right, and center have been sent home.
Like they have to go and open their business.
That's it. That's just what is going on, right? So you guys need to continue doing it. There are some people also in Grenada who, well, they be behaving like ostrich. They tend to bury their head in the sun, you know, and the body exposed, but they think they covered. You know, they playing blind. They turn around. I remember on GBN in the news, I commented on something on the house, the same house, and I said to them, I commented that every time you keep changing your story, you told us one before the 23rd of June. Now we get another one, and right away, a woman picked me up on oil and gas, you know? and they have a set of operative out there. Anytime you comment on something, they pick you up on what's going on. Look at Grenada economically right now. Everybody seems to be complaining as to how things are right now. Nobody has money. Nothing happening. I mean, the best advice I have for the Prime Minister and his team is just, you all can't make it. Every week you're making a mistake. Last week was this week is another one. Every week they keep making a mistake. So we elected a government a mistake.
It's like we elect a falling Prime Minister anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Scholar.
We elected a government.
Yeah.
Elected a government a mistake. Anyway, you guys.
All right, yes, Scholar. And thanks for the points made.
Yeah, to make a point on marketing board, the trade union has deceived the workers. The trade union let down the workers. One of the first priority of any trade union leader is not to lose its members that they have. It is in the trade union interest
to keep the members.
Because the only source of income the trade union leaders have is the members. And when you retrench workers, you lose 100 workers. And that is serious income for a small trade union. And most likely, whatever company or offspring that comes from marketing board, in the short and middle term, would not want trade union.
No, they will not.
So it's either the trade union dumb twice,
Dumb, he don't know.
or the trade union make a deal. If I, as a worker, I will believe the trade union know, they must know.
They make a deal.
Is either they dumb twice or they make a deal. How the trade union never fight for those workers. Deacon Mitchell came into power and immediately, before he engaged the MNIB or the farmers or consultation, he said marketing board would be disposed of.
Yes.
Or words to the effect. That is enough warning for the trade union to act. The trade union could have lobbied and come up with suggestions and tarry the process. The trade union seems to facilitate the process. It is a sad day for workers, because let us go back and listen to the Attorney General and the Minister of Labor. If we continue on that trajectory, we're going to have serious damage to the economy. Who is affected the most when that happens? Workers and people in the lower income group. A lot of Grenadians giving the impression they have big jobs. Even though they have a big job, they don't have big paying jobs.
Nah.
If you are working for under $3,000 in Grenada, by the government-owned admission, you are vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
You poor. You marginalized. I have heard workers casting aspersion, making derogative statements, want to shame people who are poor. When I meet them, I ask them how much money you're working for. And if they hesitate, I just tell them. Because I have a good idea what everybody works for in Grenada. So if you're working by Hubbard's, and you're not the manager, you're not the assistant manager, and I ask you how much money you're working for, and you hesitate, I will tell you. So they believe they have a status job. You have people leaving rural Grenada and going St. George's. They've been working for $60 a day. And they go in St. George's and they're working for $1,500. But they have to pay bus. You have people living $700 in one of these supermarkets. And they're going in St. George's and work for $950. You have individuals in the construction industry that are working in town for $80 a day. But they don't want to work by the neighbor for $75. Because they like to say, I'm working in town. I'm an authentic town girl. I'm working by Hubbard's or Steel or some big name. This is a serious problem in our country. And it's the situation with the trade union leaders. What the trade union leader do there is to sell out the marketing board workers. They sold out the marketing board workers. And if I was working in the workplace, I would have asked at what price.
School children.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, morning, gentlemen.
Yes, caller, welcome.
I've been laughing for the whole week because of something I experienced or heard. I was sitting close to a few guys who are there talking about some road work that they expect to get done. I say building of road in the area. One of the guys involved in the conversation, who I know is he was a very active member of the NDC. And when I call, I have nothing to do, what I'm saying, I have nothing to do with I being an NNP or I being an NDC or whoever, or gay right or whatever. Nothing like that. I'm just doing the analysis, dealing with the issues. And there was the few guys talking. The guy that I describe as an activist of the NDC. He has a truck where he works on the port. The job that I was talking about, hoping to get, have to do with a guy who is an NNP activist. But they don't mind giving him work based on what they're saying. In the process, the one that works on the port, he said to them, I need to get this type of work too, because nowadays I get no work on the port. You see the irony of the whole thing?
Yeah.
He cannot get work on the port now, but here he is expecting to get work doing road from now on. How on earth you're going to get work on the road or to build roads when there is no money coming in on the port? He's not seeing the irony of the whole thing. Because he has a clear indication of the state of the economy right now. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He has a perfect clear indication that Grenada is down when it comes economically. And people are talking about it every day. People are saying everything and see, everything that you see, it shows it. But he expects to now get work building road when the very work that he used to be getting so much of is done right down nowadays. You see the irony of the whole thing?
Yes, my brother.
I will listen to you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Mr. Pierre, school children say find out what the leader of the union representing the MNIB workers was doing during the campaign.
Well,
so you don't surprise them how he action or inaction on behalf of the workers. So you really sell them out in.
Well, I've said before, nothing is wrong with a union supporting a political party. Nothing is wrong with that. But unions support political party to seek the interests of the workers. You believe if that political party come in power, these issues, they will better able to deal with it. So nothing is wrong with a union leader supporting political party. Eric Gary started out in the trade union. A lot of the unions in Barbados, Jamaica, St. Lucia are associated with the political party. But if you're supporting a union and you're selling out your workers, then something have to be wrong with your head. It's some kind of malady that's going on. It is like Deacon Mitchell. Deacon pretend to be a socialist. Cuba and Daniel Ortega embrace him, and then he shaft 80, and he's selling marketing board. Deacon Mitchell is a fake. And if the union is supporting a party, nothing is wrong with that. The union is supposed to be in a better position to negotiate and lobby with the party. Deacon Mitchell came with a preconceived position to get rid of marketing board. And I say, the action the government did with marketing board, the fact that they fired 10 people that involved in pest management in the sauce-up industry, and they did not re-employ them. The fact that they fired over 30 people on Granba's estate, compounded.
They call them back to help them pick up
compounded with the fact that they never met with the exporters in sauce-up. All of these three things are related. All these three things are related. And this is a question I ask. Why Deacon come? Because it doesn't seem...
Who sent him?
And who sent him? Whose interest is seeking? It is not the interest of the country. And it must be sad in this day and age that an individual become and trick a whole people. And Deacon Mitchell, the decolonization of Grenada, going to send us back to the International Monetary Fund on our knees. And if we can't make it with the IMF, then we may have to go to the Chinese on our knees. And the trade union movement in Grenada, like all of us, would be equally guilty. We could well be the laughing stock in the Caribbean. Some of the politicians, the time has come for you to determine whose interests you serve. Is it the interests of Grenada? Don't come tell me about ideology. Because China have state-sponsored capitalism. Russia have the oligarchs. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. You got to close off your radio, because once you listen to the radio, you will not be able to get in contact with us. So caller, listen to us on the radio. Close off the radio. Caller, please close off the radio when you call, because we have a delayed broadcast. It's on?
No.
Yeah. So we just inform you. When you call us, I know sometimes you have people in the house and they want to hear what you're saying, but you will be listening to the radio and you're not listening to us. So I think it's a serious issue what went on with Marketing Board. And Marketing Board is history. We have condemned it to the garbage bin. Mm-hmm. We have been tricked. We have shaft 100 workers. And I don't know if Grenadians still believe it's only yellow blood, it's only green blood Dick looking for. Because I'm absolutely certain these 100 workers that was in Marketing Board, you must have had some that was strong supporters of the NDC. The union leader, I'm absolutely certain that some of the union leaders were campaigning for NDC. The 30 persons, the over 30 persons. When I speak, I dare you to challenge me. So I like to be conservative in my numbers. Over 30 workers on Grand Bar Estate. I understand they call back 5 to do something for a private person. The person say, I go pay them. I don't know if the Grand Bar Estate have things that people want to harvest. So somebody must want to buy it. So they get 5 to come back to do the work and they throw them out again. Some of these 30 workers was strong supporters of the NDC. The individuals in the pest management unit, the 10 workers in the pest management, the 10 workers that involved in source up management, they work with the pest management unit. 10 of them was fired. Some of these workers, I know, because I've spoken to some of them. I know some of them. There was members of the NDC. So the social media warriors that believe more decolonization must continue in the country, they ought to know that you are destroying your own membership. And this is why I ask, what is the political significance of firing these people? The brothers in the diaspora, you were loud and clear. Those communists, Grenada communists in America, because Grenada loudest set of communists is in the diaspora. Now is the time for you to ask yourself this question. What is the political strategy? What is the macroeconomic policies? When Dick Mitchell finished with this country, he will not only destroy the productivity in the ministries, and it's sad because we have a very powerful Ministry of Finance, highly motivated, efficient staff. We have a police force that have a very good reputation. We were able to reduce crime significantly. Predial larceny was 3% of the total crime in Grenada. And Grenada was considered much more relatively safe than other countries in the Caribbean. And the decolonization of Grenada, it is important to ask whose interests Dick Mitchell solving. Because he behaving like a glad boy, driving on plane all about like a hostess. But he never went to Barbados
in that meeting
to defend 70 million. He snubbed the people. He snubbed the people in Barbados. And Grenada lost 70 million. And perhaps we could also, the brothers and sisters in Canada, America and England, you know what's going on with COVID-19 up there. So maybe the time has come to ask Dick Mitchell if Grenada is COVID-19 free, or if the situation is worse than you believe. Perhaps it's a good time for us to talk about COVID-19. The government, the previous government, had extensive dialogue with the people at all stages, practically daily press conferences, updating them on the situation with COVID-19 and encouraging them to get vaccination. We had an active NDC opposition encouraging people not to take vaccine.
Play job.
With all kind of negative doubts. We had individuals from the NDC encouraging people to gather. They were printing posters and placards to incite them to play job. While Olympic was going on, and we had 6 Olympians, some of our journalists wasn't speaking about that, They was encouraging jab to come out. They were very successful. Jab in St. Patrick's, I believe, directly contributed to over 15 to 16 people dying in one home. And one man, when he see people dying, so he said, no, he go. An elderly man, 76 years. They say when he see people dying from him, say he run. Nobody, well, a few women go and look for him. I don't know even though the police go and look for him. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, Mr. P, good morning.
Yes, caller.
Good morning, Mr. P. Good morning.
Yeah, my brother.
Good morning, Igwe. When I analyze this government and the driver that's steering that ship, like a driver that is a stranger to the truth. A stranger to the truth. Because that stranger speaks one side of the mouth, he speaks something, and when to come to manifest what he speaks, it becomes like impossible. It becomes impossible because he said that you were to hear they say that it's a lot of money, but the Ghanaian people need a lot of money. So I ask myself, who are the Ghanaian people? If it's the ministers or the men on the board of directors, or is the Ghanaian people and all the rest of people is foreigners?
The good people maybe.
If you say the Ghanaian people need a lot of money, right? You should put pumping more money in the hands of Ghanaian, taking recognize again also. You have to go, the ministers and the supporters have to go with the swing of the driver. They cannot, if they're speaking the truth and what they say is the truth, and the driver says something else, they have to retract the truth and continue to sing the same song that the leader speaking. I consider a successful leader will speak the truth. Speak the truth to the people of Greater Caribbean Pitimati. You speak the truth to your children. You don't deceive your children and lead them on the wrong road. Because what you say to them, which you know to yourself is not the truth, this is exactly what they're going to go and say. So then how could you say you love somebody and you love the children and you're leading them to the road of destruction? You have to speak the truth to your children. And can you check what happened with the story Gloria and Minister Gloria Thomas?
Senator Gloria Thomas.
Gloria Thomas. She said that there is money there to continue with the program with the senior citizens.
That is in December.
December. After the Prime Minister come and say something, she had to retract and say the same thing. And the Prime Minister said, "You cannot go." And when you look at press conference, every question that asks, one person answered. I have about 5 or 6 different ministers there, but nobody has answered the question.
But we
Because
we cannot blame Deaton for the ministers losing the tongue. You know? You have to blame the ministers.
You have to blame the ministers, right? Because you saw something happening in your constituency. The right person to answer the question is the parliamentarian for the constituency. Because the committee prime minister might know about it. So the person who ask the question, answer the question. If a question is asked, what happened in St. George Northeast, is Honorable Runner-headed?
Yeah,
definitely this man.
Yeah,
to be fair to him, he'll say he don't know to.
Yeah, I have come to the conclusion, not now, a long time ago, that when you put yourself up for representation, you have to take responsibility. When I ask you a question, you don't turn away and tell me to somebody else to ask. You ask it about your representative. So when the honorable senator said that the elderly people will continue to get their money in December, and by January she changed him out without explanation, without justification, the minister is wrong. What she did is wrong. It is robbery with violence. She set up the elderly. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
That Prime Minister, he can run a selfie shop model to run this country.
But he's flying in plane all about, he can't run in nothing.
Yeah, he can run a selfie shop model to run country. So, you better give somebody else a chance.
Yeah, I think the Minister of Finance should be, we need to change the Minister of Finance. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning to you guys. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning to Carl Igwe.
Yes, man.
Pierre, good morning to you guys. Good morning to Dr. Mitchell also. And Andre, wherever you are, I'd like to say hats off to you, man, for carrying the St. Patrick's
Sports. Yeah, I think that was really good.
Sports yesterday. I think that was very, very good. A couple of us
Best radio
yesterday. Yeah, right here in Brooklyn. So Andre, I want to say hat off to you. Good job. Continue to do the good job that you're doing. Okay. It was very, very heartfelt yesterday watching watching these games. Yeah. Very good job. Okay, Mr. Pierre. Excuse me. Yeah, I sit back and I listen. I listen to you guys just about every day in my busy schedule, but I want to take a little time out today. These guys and we continue to talk about the wrongdoings of the NDC. But something that we've been saying for a long time. The saying of that education plus arrogance amount to ignorance, and we see that thing is protruding in the NDC camp. Carl, you have a saying where you take a page out of your book where you say that pregnancy is like
character like pregnancy can hide. Yeah.
Character like pregnancy. Yeah. Thank you. We cannot hide. And that's just who these people are. They are so arrogant. And the bad thing about it is, guys, the saying, it's so bad that when you don't know that you don't know. And this is what's going on there, because these guys are so filled with their book sense. But the old people tell us that common sense comes before book sense. And in their time of getting, they got so much book sense that they pushed out the little bit of common sense that the Almighty blessed them with at their time of birth. So now they're walking around with so much book sense.
A briefcase and certificate.
Thank you. They don't even have simple common sense just to communicate with the people on the ground and understand. Listen, let me try to break it down that way. Sometimes you see a busman on his route, and somebody may tell him, well, he got 3 passengers in coming around the curve there. What the busman do? He realized, okay, he can make that's a couple extra dollars, so he will reverse back that he can pick up the passengers. I mean, we see that every day around Grenada. But these guys, because they lack of communication with the everyday man on the ground, because they are so filled with the book sense. They lack the communication, the ability to communicate with the man on the ground and hear the cries of the people. So they are so steadfast in what they're doing, and they're so filled with hate, because remember, they've been in the OSC for so long. So they are filled with hate, and everything they do it out of hate. And that's one of the worst things you can do in life, to act out of hate, you know. And they continue to do these things, which is the detrimental to the country. I mean, yes, the people are suffering, but then the country is what's going to suffer the most, and we're going to see it in the long run. You know, when we talk about the common sense of these guys, I like to go back a little bit when the NMP government was trying to institute constitutional reform. Our present Minister of Foreign Affairs was the then leader of the NDC
party
at that time.
Yeah.
And what was the NDC stance? No, we're not supporting constitutional reform. We're not. You know, and I sit there and I look at and I said, here is something for Grenada. This is non-partisan, and these guys are saying they're not supporting. And these are the same people today. You hear them saying, "Let us work together. Let us work together." Who you trying to fool? Don't tell me let us work together. Show me that you're willing to work together. So you had many chances to show to us that you was willing to work together, because constitutional reform was non-partisan, COVID was non-partisan, structural adjustment was non-partisan, and all of these things. Where were you? You went gallivanting everywhere else. But you know, the thing about it is, I look at our foreign minister, present foreign minister, and like I said, he was the leader at that time, and the NDC stance was, no, we're not working together with you. And I watch of a sad incident that happened in Chantilly, where his best friend was, put it that way, hold up, alleged. I mean, it's on camera. And the gentleman was missing, I think, for a day or 2 days or something like that. Only to see that same Minister of Foreign Affairs saying that we need to update our court system. And I was like amazed, because I'm saying, this is a gentleman that's supposed to have vision. Because once you put yourself up for public leadership like that, you're supposed to have vision. And I was like, could he see back then what the CCJ was offering? But he was so filled with hate that you didn't take time to turn the pages to see what the CCJ was offering. So till it fall in your footsteps, you're saying that we need to reform the court system. When the CCJ, through constitutional reform, was offering you that. You know, and I'm bringing these things to show that these guys, even though they are filled with book sense, they claim that they are filled with book sense. But when the time comes that they should do what is really matter and what's right to move the country forward, they always do things that move the country backwards. Now, the other thing is, I often wonder, I mean, is our Prime Minister carrying two stamps in his pocket, one in the right, one in the left? Because what I realize going on is that when it comes to dealing with the people's matter, the Prime Minister has the stamp in his right pocket that he stamped all the people with. Now we're moving the decimal point to the right. Every time he deals with the people matter, he moves the decimal point to the right. But when he deals with the NDC members matter, he go in the left pocket and he took out the stamp and he's moving it to the left. So I'm wondering, where's the balance? Where is the balance? Why is it that when you're dealing with matters that involve the NDC and the small minority group or you can see it and you can find the funds to support those issues, and you was chosen to serve the people. The people. Make no regard. I mean, too many times we get this thing twisted. when you put yourself up for public leadership, expect people supposed to scrutinize you and make sure that you're capable. But this time, we did not scrutinize these guys, and we did not. We fall for the nonsense that they're telling us. Too many times, we get mixed up when people comes around simply because they have some book sense. We can still listen to them. We need to take time and look at people. That is why we have, so much different gadgets and ways of finding out about people.
Collins, we have to take the news.
Yes,
You
sir.
got to call us back. We have to take the news at 10.
We're taking the news, sorry.
Okay, yes.
All right, okay.
All right, no problem, guys.
All right.
Thank you guys for taking me on.
All right, okay.
All right, thanks.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update produced by Triple N. Details when we get back.
Agriculture, a pillar in the Grenadian economy. Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. They supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings, and nursery items, diesel water pumps, walk-behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. Serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth number 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call them on 409-2175 or 438-4337 and enjoy their services from your farm to your backyard. Gittins Home and Garden Center.
Welcome back. Locally, the Caribbean Public Health Agency CARPHA has confirmed that the human metapneumovirus was among 3 respiratory viruses circulated in Grenada during the 5th and 6th weeks of 2023. The other 2 were influenza AH1N1 PDM09 or swine flu and SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19. In the region, the St. Lucia's Immigration Department on Thursday announced the introduction of an online embarkation. This embarkation form, which it says will make St. Lucia's entry process much more seamless. We get more in this report.
Effective March 1st, 2023, St. Lucia's entry process will be even more seamless with the introduction of an online embarkation-disembarkation form that allows for the electronic processing of travelers. The online ED form is introduced by the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Commission and funded through the 11th European Development Fund. It is also in line with initiatives by the government of St. Lucia towards a digital conversion of the public sector services for the continued improvement of the island's operational competencies and simplicity of conducting business.
The electronic ED form will replace the written form, providing real-time information to immigration, customs, port health, and will significantly reduce the processing time for passengers. And I must pause here to say that the online ED form, it was tested at both airports, and we are pleased with the results. Once the forms is filled out before entering into St. Lucia, at least 24 hours before entering St. Lucia, you would spend no less than 10 seconds at the immigration officer once everything is okay. If, for instance, you answer maybe a question on the form, maybe you had maybe some kind of cough or some kind of thing on the form, then it will probably flag it and then we send you to Port Health. Otherwise, if everything is okay with the form, you would be spending not more than 10 seconds a day. So we urge persons to fill out these forms online before they board the flight.
Completion of the online ED form is only applicable to air travel and is not a requirement for boarding. However, passengers should submit it prior to arrival in St. Lucia for swift processing on arrival. If the electronic form has yet to be completed by the time the passenger arrives in St. Lucia, then the written form provided by the airline or in-country will be required. Assistant Superintendent in charge of the Immigration Department, Sean Alexander, during a Thursday morning press conference also explained the simple 4-step process leading to expedited transit times.
It's a simple 4-step process where travelers are required to visit the website stlucia.org/entry, complete and submit the form in a friendly ED form user-friendly website. You receive a QR code via email, and when you get to the immigration, you present that QR code either on your phone or your laptop, whatever you receive the email on, and the process is very seamless.
Around the globe, Cambodian authorities tested more people for the H5N1 strain of avian influenza after reporting that an 11-year-old girl...
Wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the
Sign
new
up for
aloe
Flow
vera.
ID
Keep
in
your
seconds.
kitchen
Go to
sparkling clean with the
flowid.co.
Ozone
Click
dishwashing
create
liquid,
a Flow
Ozone
ID.
sponges, and
Enter your
cleaning
name,
cloth.
email,
Ozone
and a
toilet bowl
password.
cleaner
Check
removes
your
lime
email
scale
and
and
enter the
kills germs
verification
while
code.
giving your
Use your
toilet
Flow
a
mobile
refreshing
phone or
scent.
account number
Ozone
to link
really
your account.
gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico,
My Flow app
Frequente
builder.
St. George's,
Log
and
into the
are
My Flow.
available at
Select
shops
the
and
desired bill
supermarkets
from the
nationwide.
account selector. Press View Bills and Payment. Select the desired amount. Press Download PDF. MyFlow app activating prepaid plan. Log into the MyFlow app. Select your prepaid service from account selector. Select purchase plans. Confirm purchase plan. Remaining minutes or data will be visible on the MyFlow app homepage. Sign up for a Flow ID in seconds. Go to flowid.co. Click Create a Flow ID. Enter your name, email, and a password. Check your email and enter the verification code. Use your Flow mobile phone or account number to link your account. MyFlow app billing. Log into the MyFlow app. Select the desired bill from the account selector. Press View Bills and Payments. Select the desired amount. Press Download PDF. MyFlow app activating prepaid plan. Log into the MyFlow app. Select your prepaid service from account selector. Select purchase plans. Confirm purchase plan. Remaining minutes or data will be visible on the MyFlow app homepage. Sign up for a Flow ID in seconds. Go to flowid.co. Click Create a Flow ID. Enter your name, email, and a password. Check your email and enter the verification code. Use your Flow mobile phone or account number to link your account.
Grenland, energizing our Grenada.
MyFlow app billing. Log into the MyFlow app. Select the desired bill from the account
NLA
selector.
is giving you
Press
more
View
chances
Bills
to
and
multiply your
Select
Playway
the
winnings
desired
by
amount.
adding
Press
multi-X to your
Download
regular
PDF.
Playway bets to win
MyFlow
up to
app
5 times
activating
more.
prepaid
Imagine
plan.
winning
Log
as
into the
much as
MyFlow app.
$1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With multi-X, you must bet the same amount
Enter the
wagered on your
verification
regular
code.
Playway
Use your
bet
Flow
for your
mobile
winnings
phone
to be
or account
multiplied.
number to link your
Grenadians,
account.
value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more. With multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Coming soon to authorized agents near you. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
The Center. Yes, it's The Center, located on Main Street, St. Patrick, for all your wholesale drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. We are open daily from Sunday to Sunday up to 10 p.m. and closed only on public holiday. Now on sale are grocery items, frozen meat such as chicken parts, turkey and ham. Yes, it's the center of it all.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
This is Caribbean Vibe. You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an X-car and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned cylinder. With much new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive.
There's the excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
So let me zero in. You have a seed program. The World Bank says if you're making $650 or less, you're poor. Yet still, the seed program is only paying you $350 and $450. They are aware of the World Bank report. Why then raise the seed program to $650 or more? So if they were interested in truly alleviating poverty or truly helping you, they would raise the figure to $650 or more. So I'm saying to all of the persons who are genuinely on the seed program, particularly our older citizens, who would have worked to help build Grenada, the seed program should be for you, for people who are differently able, for elder citizens.
Yes, he go holy way.
So, the Prime Minister, Mr. Pierre, he pretending, but he know Grenadians deserve a lot of money. One, he know the people in the seed program, he know they don't get in enough. Two, so he know they deserve a lot of money. He know they don't get it enough because he quantified that by the World Bank report, so he aware. So all this old talk, this ram goat argument about he wasn't budgeted for, stop that, Mr. PM, and give back the people their money. Give them back the 150, and because you take it and you inconvenience them, you have to give them something extra. So I suggest you give them back 250 because you could find the money to give them. Because by your admission, they deserve a lot of money. And I don't want you to be making any excuse, Mr. P, because the excuse is he was not budgeted for. And all kind of excuse you're hearing. But based on the Prime Minister's admission, he understands the World Bank report. He understands the 650. He understands Grenadians want a lot of money. So, Mr. PM, do the honorable thing. Give back the people their money. And because you inconvenience them, you have to give them something extra. So I'm saying that here because I know you're going to get the message. Pay back the people their money and stop this ram goat argument about money was not budgeted for. Because there are ways you could find it. And let me advise you. You found the money to pay the teachers which was not budgeted for, so you have an idea how to find money. You found the $2,000 for your ministers which was not budgeted for. You found money to pay for the place where they say you stay in, which was not budgeted for. So you have a track record of finding money for the people. And while you're at it, give back the people in Carriacou and the people who make go their work. The faith-based people, the CJ's people. Find something for them to do because you say Grenadians need a lot of money. That's your words, not mine. Play that lot of money tape there for me again because they just pretend they don't hear.
Here's the excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is it's a lot of money.
So Mr. Prime Minister...
Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
Well, you say it. I couldn't say it better than you. Mr. P, I couldn't say it better than the Prime Minister.
You see, the Prime Minister is a fake. Derek Walcott from St. Lucia, a Nobel Prize winner.
Peace Prize.
After he visited Grenada, come to Grenada, he was surprised at the class structure in Grenada. You see, there are some people in Grenada who believe that they're more than others. And they seems to speak about a section of the population in Grenada in a very dismissive manner.
Because they call some of the good people.
Only 2 political leaders in Grenada, 2 political leaders that have a history of seeking the interests of the marginalized and the ordinary man. What did the National Democratic Congress do? They make fun of the word vulnerable. They make fun of the word poor people. Even some people that fall in that bracket start to feel away. That is why when we had the Imani program, the best program that have been instituted in Grenada in the last 100 years, the National Democratic Congress and other individuals criticized that program so much that very few men wanted to get involved in it. The government introduced programs for the men. So I'm not surprised at Deacon Mitchell's action. Deacon Mitchell and the National Democratic Congress, every time they come in power, within the first year, they start to behave like vultures, attacking the elderly, the marginalized, and the disadvantaged young people. This is why 70% of the children that go to our school cannot meet the minimum requirement. It appears that some people in Grenada want to keep it like that. They want the children to succeed, but they want other people to fail. Why do you believe Dick Mitchell promised the World Health Organization to strengthen his presentation? The World Bank position. He quoted them to strengthen his presentation that he will bring it to 650. The minister, the senator, the Honorable Gloria Thomas, a descendant of Miss Joss, a child of labor. She reinforced it in the month of December, Christmas time. The elderly people feel good. And when they go for the next paycheck, they was in tears. That is the National Democratic Congress.
But what is instructive here, Mr. Pierre, he says in the clip, if they care about you, they go raise it to 650. So what that says about him? I mean, he don't care, you know?
Well, the Prime Minister don't care. That is why if they care.
He said if they care, they go raise it. Now you taking out. So but that shows you don't care.
But the NDC never care. A lot of people who support the National Democratic Congress, that is why they can't stand up in discussion with you. That is why even on social media, when you're trying to engage a little discussion with them, they cast some remarks, tell you you're singing for your supper or something, or you're dunce, or you're stupid, or you greedy and needy, or you're a tete sucker. All sort of derogative and dismissive language. I've never seen that in my life. And it is not good. Yes, they say you're a tete sucker. It is not good. Because one said to me, if I know everybody is Grenadians, because he wants green blood. He said, throw them out of the ministry, don't employ them. When I said to him, you might be throwing out your spouse. You don't answer. You see, this is a serious issue impeding development in this country. And you don't expect Gloria Thomas, a descendant of Miss Joss, an individual, a child of labor from rural Grenada, Lennox Andrew, Dennis Cornwall. You don't expect these people to support that. But you see, this thing they call certificate day. You tie up some people brain, you know.
Yes.
Caller, welcome.
Pastor Cole?
Yes, welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. Master Cole make a mistake. How you say about the man could find money to pay the teachers and he could find money. Master called the man to find no money. after the NDC lies hook Grenadians, some of them come to me and tell me, oh, Kit Tati win, he leave a lot of money inside it. So the man meet money and he spend money mad because he gets stupidity.
No, Carla, you have to listen to what I say. Listen the language.
You say he find money
Listen,
to pay this.
no. Listen the language, Carla. Listen. The excuse they made that the money was not budgeted for. What I say, those things I say, the $2,000 for ministers, the monies for teachers and others was also not budgeted for, but they found it. Listen what I say. Don't say what I don't say.
Oh, I thought you say he find money to pay.
They say the money was not budgeted for. But my argument is they found monies what was not budgeted for when they had to do what they had to do. So don't say I say they can't find one.
So what about the old people? 150. Some was crying to me yesterday.
Well, they need to give it back.
They have to give it back, and they have to give back something more.
They have to give back the money. We're not going anywhere. They must give it back.
Gentlemen, beat it. Are they going to get God blessing? Beat it until. But they say now. I spoke to some of them yesterday. They say, we purging the list. I say, why you don't give back them people the money? They say they purging the list. I don't know what they mean.
Well, yes.
They're hunting for green blood.
Decolonization is malicious detoxification
and victimization
of anyone who they believe have any inclination to support the NNP. That is decolonization. So that is what he is doing now. Remember in 2000...
The ministry cost them $77 million.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do with it. The Ministry of Mobilization and
Victimization. Yeah.
And Selwyn Strand was doing that in the revolution, and it cost them $77 million to erect that ministry. So they had money to play with. Thank you.
Yes, my brother. So this is the sad part in Grenada. The government is on a victimization rule. They set up a ministry of victimization. So they want to continue to fire people. But the 30 people on Granba's estate is not only NNP, yeah, NDC in it, but they don't care about low-income group of people. That is what's sad. Because if they did, they would have employed 30 NDC. I don't know if they can find NDC to employ. The 10 people in pest management. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. You're radio in the back. Yes, caller.
You come all here and tell me all the
I don't make a mistake.
Yeah. Right. So it's very important for all and sundry to understand that. The trade union leaders, you have a voice too, not because these people that are affected are not your members. But remember, marketing board fall, so your members go start to fall too. When decolonization of the country continue, we will bring irreparable damage to the economy, and then the trade union will start to ball when the next set of retrenchment come. You could speak now and save the retrenchment in the future. It happened before.
Yeah.
It happened before. And one of the reasons these things happen because we were not forthright enough. From the time this government reached in power for the last under a year, 6-7 months, the economy has been contracting, and the government have only been creating stress points in the economy.
Because, Mr. Perry, if you listen to the budget speech, the Prime Minister tried to use words to confuse us and say the growth of the economy last year was 6.whatever%, and this year expected to expand by 3.6%. But what he was not aware of that, we listened, and we know the economy was only expected to grow by 3.6%. So we must have a downturn. So when we had that ambitious budget presentation, first of all, in the speech which they say was the best budget ever, when you go into the estimates of revenue and expenditure, you realize there was a lot of things that didn't adding up. I say maybe typo error. But when you check the whole workings of the government, you realize they don't know what's going about. Because the people in finance have an idea of what's going on. And they put together the part where with the figures and things. But what the Prime Minister was saying, he had some variations to what the figures were saying, Mr. Pierre. So he tried to make it nice. Because like in agriculture, they speak all about agriculture. When you add up, you don't get the 54, you get about 47. So he always have a shortfall. And since then, it was pointed out that the seed program was $8 million less. Now, when that was said, nobody wanted to listen. Also pointed out, Mr. P, and that is something we have to look forward to. The Imani budget was cut. The allocation was cut by close to 12 million. The needy assistance, all these things are the allocation for them was less than the last time. So we are wait to see what is going on. Mr. Pierre, I need to touch an issue here, because this is an issue which this present government, and we have to expose them, is using to muzzle persons. They're using the word leak and making people sign all kind of documents and so on. Ordinary workers in ministry don't have this kind of information to leak, Mr. Pierre. It's managers and so on. However, now I will give you a few scenarios and one has to follow what's going on. When information from police officers meeting weekly end up in a weekly publication in this country, and it is sympathetic to the National Democratic Congress, it does not be considered leak. When the information about the faith-based people came out, it was not considered leak. When the information and the receipts and so on about the Polish gentleman with the passport came out, it was not considered leak because the Prime Minister says so in the Trade Center. It was not considered leak. When the whole fiasco around Christmas time with the gift for the Chinese and so on, it was not considered leak because it was sympathetic to the NDC. However, when any information comes out that they're not comfortable with, they call it leak. No, they're using leak, Mr. Pierre, to go after perceived opponents in the public service. In so much as they're weaponizing FIO and take FIO away from its core mandate and say they go investigate leaks. And then you see all kind of letters coming up where they're asking persons to sign this secrecy thing. Mr. Pierre, that is not good. That trying to muzzle people, but that is the same set of people, Mr. Pierre, who have always spoken of Freedom of Information Act. You understand? So on one side of the mouth, the champion or the championing Freedom of Information Act. And on the other side, they're using the FIO to muzzle people under the guise of leak. This thing is dictatorship, Mr. P. And persons cannot sit idly by, and we here on the People's Parliament of Real FM ought not sit idly by and don't inform the people of this nation as to what is going on. Because when things appear in certain print media of a sensitive nature, it is never about leak. But when something appears that is not supportive or sympathetic, and the more you try to muzzle people, Mr. Pierre, I've done the research, the more what you will call leak will appear. You know? Because men don't just take the death so, you know. So the more you will try to muzzle them and bring them fire, the more information that would come out. The Minister of National Security, you have to understand, because I heard you talk about Freedom of Information Act. But at the same time, you want to muzzle information. Because what caused that, Mr. Pierre? Because you saw a post-cabinet brief. But you come and say, you're giving the nation information on a need to know. So sometimes your need to know and the nation's need to know is different, Mr. Pierre. Because we want to know what is really going on in the government or the financial health of this country presently. We also need to know, are you servicing the nation's debt? Because that is a big issue, Mr. Pierre. We also want to know, what are your plans going forward to stimulate growth in the economy, because the economy needs to be stimulated. We want to know. We want to know what is your plan, as Mr. Pierre spoke earlier on marketing board. Because for everything what happened, and a caller put it in his perspective, Mr. Pierre, sugar thing had to go out by a particular time, and coincidentally you wind up marking butter, so the person who you plan to give, getting the real thing. So these are the questions we need to know. And if you do telling us, people who might know, go tell us, and then you're calling it leak. And that is the crux of the matter, and want us to understand. So we know you want to decolonize the place by maliciously victimizing, and you say detoxifying whom you think is green blood. But remember, Grenada make up of all bloods, Mr. Pierre. As you see, sometimes you might try to victimize me, but the person you're using to victimize me is one of you. You understand? And that is my concern as relates to this whole leak issue, Mr. Pierre. What say you?
Well, I think it's infantile, it's reckless, and it's pure stupidity. Straight. Circulating this document is stupidity. Straight. It has no political significance. And it tells you the level of immaturity that exists in the government. And I believe Lennox Andrew and Dennis Cornwall are the ones to tell the Prime Minister, this is infantile stupidity, it is reckless, it doesn't help. We had a revolution that jailed 3,000 Grenadians and could not stop anything in the military. Leaks is among high-ranking officers. The government themselves is leaking all the information. Once you listen to the government and you understand the public service, you know what the government doing. I pointed out that the firing of the 10 workers in Maribor in Soursup, the firing of the workers on Granby Estate and not replacing them, and the closing down a marketing board, and the government not meeting with the exporters of Soursup, I know who the government want to sell for. They want to temporarily tarnish the Soursup industry. So they're going to bring in the big McCoy to run the pest management unit. You don't have to leak nothing. You don't pass around these papers to low-rank workers. That is to your permanent secretaries, your cabinet sec and your permanent secretaries. The permanent secretary is a political insulator. You know when you put a piece of plastic around current? Yeah. That's one of the role of a permanent secretary between the politicians and the workers. So anytime information pass the permanent secretary, as if it's Carnival Day. So you pass these papers to your permanent secretary. You people in foreign affairs, you don't go and pass this thing to junior workers. Anytime you do that, they see you as papi show, as you as an infant. You don't have sense. You're politically stupid. You're ridiculing yourself. The permanent secretary is an insulator between the politician and the workers. No minister cannot give any instruction to a worker lower than the permanent secretary. They may entertain you, The public service well protects permanent job. So the fact that the ministers is doing that, it makes me feel embarrassed, ashamed. You asking, is that we reach to? Because the ministers after the election, they brought up a whole cadre of advisors. Now, what you pay these advisors for? You're supposed to pay the advisor to tell you, behave yourself and understand that your permanent secretary is an insulator. The minister you have behaving badly in Karakou and going around trying to micromanage is a licker. When you listen to him, he's leaking more information and you just have to listen to him. You permanent secretary, that is where who you pass the letters to. You permanent secretary. Some of the workers you're dealing with in foreign affairs. The person writing speech for you. Not technical officers in the field. They're not under your supervision. And when you're walking around and the minister in Karakou believe he could control Karakou, idiot. You have no sense. You're embarrassing this country. We come a long way.
A national embarrassment.
It's an embarrassment. You're making the OECS laugh at us. These letters don't have to be circulating around. These letters are for your permanent secretary. And you individuals in foreign affairs that you could give it to the secretary who type in for you in the office. But she's supposed to know that the fact that you have to give her a letter. That is why you need a cabinet sec that you have confidence in. That is why they had to get rid of Gemma Bain. Every time a government change, they want to change a cabinet sec.
Yeah, you're talking.
I mean, come on. That is the people that could leak information, not technical workers. What? They're studying you then?
No, the source up workers.
These source up workers, they don't study you. You can't even give them instruction. They don't even have to listen to you. You can't even talk to them if they don't want you to talk to them. But the ministers don't know that. And the prime minister gallivanting around as a glad boy, taking pictures.
Yeah. Travel king.
Yeah. What you need to do is to give the people the money. Some of the person you claim leaking there is poor people children. Give the people the $150 back.
You see, one of the things was surprising most as being prime minister is how much people want to take PTR with him.
The prime minister must grow. Perhaps for this Lent you should grow beard.
What?
So they will stop with it.
You don't think, because remember, Pierre, he play job, you know, he don't move left,
he don't juke, right. He don't whine, he don't move a muscle.
He don't even jump up.
I don't know what he tried to do. And they claim
that year he was not here, man.
They claim the man play without all island. Yeah. I don't know if it's lie, but when I spoke about it, because I gladly play job, you know. I say going to help me convince the young men not to play with all oil.
Yeah. They say he play without all oil?
But they say he play without all oil. But he refuse to call on them. Up to today, I begging this man, tell the young men, they playing job every day. They gone in Tobago job. They go in Karakou job. All about all oil on the body every week.
But that the character of the man, I'm glad you bring up that they claim he play without all oil, but he wouldn't tell the rest not to play with
But I believe he play with all oil.
But listen, this, Mr. Pierre. They claim he take the COVID thing, but he don't tell nobody else to take it.
Well, he must take the COVID vaccine because he's traveling.
And he causing people in ASG who want to take the vaccine to lose their work. So maybe he take it.
And we have
but he don't telling nobody else to take the vaccine.
We have over 40 active COVID cases.
3 or 4.
In Grenada. 3 or 4 is
one died.
And you don't hear one word from this government.
Not one word. The hands on their lip.
You see, falsehood is like a boomerang. You know? It has come back. Because you went outside there, refused to tell the public You take COVID-19, you took COVID-19, you hide from the public, you encourage jab to spread it in St. Patrick's for the 14, 15 people to dead. And now COVID-19 spreading in Grenada.
You don't say nothing.
40-something cases, I heard, 2 or 3 or 4 in the hospital, and they claim 1 dead.
But because if that is not true, you need to come out and say that is not true to do. I don't want you to come and say you didn't know. Because that is the narrative now. Because what happened with him now, he get caught with the pants down talking so much, he's afraid to talk now.
But look at the
so what he's saying now, he don't know.
But the minister is I don't know.
Because when somebody ask him how to run and something, he say he didn't know too, you know. When they ask him what the overpayment they are, they say he didn't know, so he start to say he don't know. Because he realize he talked so much, tried before he go.
Once
you're not to talk now.
Once you're not speaking the truth, you wouldn't remember.
Now you remember.
It's easy. Just stick with the truth. Just stick with the truth. You have no problem.
Well, the truth on him?
Yes, if on our program, if you shake on the truth, we're not letting you go. We want the truth stick on you. You see, you had the minister going in the hospital 2 o'clock in the morning.
You prayed mantis?
The nurse get afraid, you know. One nurse tell her, you should have sent him in the pathological annex to look for Morris Bishop's spirit. Now we must have the minister. You had the lifeguard jumping up. We must have the minister on the road, on the radio, to tell us what is the situation with the COVID-19.
Yes.
And I call it on Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob, you the right man.
Yeah, Dr. Bob had this kind of influence.
Because they identify you as one of the most objective journalists in this country.
One of the chief.
Don't hide. Once you have a doctorate, you reach the stage for publication.
Yes.
And people want to hear your position. People gonna believe you. They won't believe an ordinary rustic of nondescript breed like me. Deacon won't bother with me. My great friend Willie, he said we making noise. He said, don't bother with them, man. Noise they making. So Dr. Bob, please come to the rescue of Grenada. Ask the Minister of Health to periodically update us on the status of COVID-19. Is it important for Grenadians to take vaccine? Do you all care about that? Obviously, we know that you all don't care about the elderly, but you all go get sick too. The last time
and
somebody
said young, they will get old too.
Somebody said the Prime Minister was yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Pierre and Igwe. I like to hear Igwe laugh. You give him a joke. Mr. Pierre. I like to hear. What is the you all ever heard anything on the youth policy?
Youth policy?
You have two advisors. This or something should come up.
Democratic Congress. You all have you heard any press conference or so in regard, are they out in regards to the way forward with the young people, except the fact that they said that the manis would be made permanent? Anything else? I mean, I remembered.
Oh, you will make money permanent?
Well, that was one of their campaign promises.
The last thing I heard about the money was those over 35 have to go.
And when they don't train, they have to move.
And they had a meeting with them to inform them, you know.
Yes.
They have not effected it, but that was it.
But any other information in regards? I mean, it's the ending of February. You already had your budget. You said you have two advisors collecting $5,000 every month, plus perks, and up to now we have yet to hear anything in regards to the youth policy and what would be some of the programs going forward in regards to the young people. I remember, as I was saying, I remember under the New National Party, they did have the empowerment program for the young fellas.
Fly
they need
program.
That very much so now. They had the Fly program, they had the Imani program, they had the self-employed programs. They had many different programs under the New National Party that the Minister of Youth and so would have come out and enlightened the public about. They would have had officers out in the field, employing or putting young fellas who you don't want end up in the streets on these programs. And when at the end of the program, you would have given them like
assistance with tools, equipment.
Yes, exactly.
Lawnmowers.
End of February, and I haven't heard it, or maybe the press conference would have gone, and maybe
they don't have no press conference. They're hiding from the press.
If they had any press conference, you would hear all kind of song and dance about that.
Right. So at this point,
nothing from nothing, leave nothing.
Yes. So there at this point, there are young people who need help at this point, at this juncture. You have the involvement of guns with the young people. You have and you might have a rise in theft. You might have a rise in in a lot of other things that desperate young people would find themselves in. So I think, we could only beg and bellow that these people come up and stop Mama Gain, the Grenadian people, come up with plans for the young people. Up to now, you have 2 advisors collecting free money. Because I have to say it's free. Because you have nothing rolling out for the young people at this present moment, which they need. And, and all this government is concentrating on doing is fulfilling campaign promises, which at this point is not necessary. Yes, 500 houses, you're trying to fulfill that. You have Telesford saying one thing with his mouth, the other, and then you have Mr. Williams speaking on the other end of his mouth. So they're trying to fulfill that. That's important, but I don't think these should be foremost and at this point, because right now, we have to keep pounding it. People have to keep calling in and explain the situation that's going on them, so that the general public will have a fair understanding as to what's really going on in Grenada. Right now, the government, who is not even listening, they are deaf to what's happening around them. They're sending people home. People, Mr. Pierre, you're always saying it, and these are things that needs to be addressed. The cost of living is too high at this point. It's too high. What $100 is like $20 in Grenada right now, and there is no call or no structures, nothing in place to alleviate some of the cost. And then what is really baffling to me is to hear the people saying that there are some people who are on the seed program who is not deserving of it. How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that this young lady on the seed program wasn't on the seed program because her child needs medication every month? How do you know that this young person has a child that needs medical attention every so often? Or how do you know that this young person, because it's people that have children that was on the program, right? So before you pause the program, you have to do an investigation as to why this person is just genuinely unemployed, or this person is not capable of getting a job because of their lack of something. You understand? This person has a crippled child. This person, they're unemployed. You put them on the program. When they're employed, you take them out. This is what the assistance is about. So to take out the people that don't deserve it, you don't know a person's situation inside their home. Sometimes that person is walking it off.
You say the person is inclined to green, they don't deserve it.
Well, exactly. But the people, but how do you know? Because at the end of the day, people that want support, as a matter of fact, what I'm seeing, what I feel, is that anybody who was placed on a program or placed or doing the devotion program, whether it's NNP, NDC, GLP, once you were placed there under the new national party, when they were in power, they're sending you home, they're taking you out. It doesn't matter whether you're NNP or NDC, because that's their whole hatred for the party. You understand?
You remember Black Wizard say, even inside NDC or NNP?
Right.
So they're weeding them out.
So they're weeding out everybody. And you look at it, you know, I mean, even the higher, this is just baffling to me. And it's like nobody is who's studying them? Let them talk. We don't care. Let them face the gas price. The gas price is past $15. Dr. Michelle Corbett has $15. It's past $15. And nobody ain't come to address it. Nobody ain't come to address it. And you're telling me that that is the transformation that Grenadians voted for. That is the transformation Grenadians voted for. Would it get better? It wouldn't get better unless you have these people put some empathy and have a conscience in their heart to see, well, okay, what you're doing is something that, I mean, you feel it's NNP people alone that cry.
The same people that say choppy on the people.
And I fail to use this NDC thing because I know my former parliamentary representative. In my area here, everybody and anybody could have, well, I mean, everybody could have, you got little roadwork. They would ask you who you support, they get the roadwork, they get their little contract. You understand? I mean, what you're telling me is that nobody in NDC was employed in the last 9 years. So what happened to them? They ain't dead. They're still alive, right? So you see the falseness they're trying to create? It's false to only say only NNP people was working. That's a joke. Everybody was who didn't want employment? I mean, look under the money program. What you trying to tell me? If that's the case, how come we lose the election?
But they said these people vote for them, but them is not. you forgot Wizard June. You say all inside NDC is NNP. Yes. You have some fellas there with them, they can't squeak, you know. They're watching them like a hawk.
So I want people to stop this nonsense about talking about take them out because they didn't deserve it and you don't know a person's situation. You don't know what is it that's going on inside their house. They have children to send to school. As a matter of fact, the SEED program is to assist the kids, also to assist the kids with bus money and all these things. Yeah. And if you don't know a person's situation, a person working for $700 a month, and now you have current bill at $300 and something a month, you don't know. So I want us to stop this nonsense about, they don't deserve to be on the SEED program. You have no idea why they're on the SEED program, so hush. Do the investigation. You come into power. Do the investigation. Go and do an analysis of the people and them under the SEED program and ensure if you find, well, okay, you're not deserving of it, then fine. But then you have to find out why they're on the SEED program before you take them out. Because, look, you're going to put more people into destitution and then you have the young people that you need to take care of. Nothing on the policy for youth. Nothing. Not a program. Nothing. You have and what's going on with the SES program, God alone only knows. You have people that are journalists collecting money from the SEED program, and you have all
from the
kind of
CES
corruption going on, and then you want to talk about Dr. Keith Mitchell. No, you all like people like the man in that man calling back for Dr. Mitchell. You have Miss Simon saying Dr. Mitchell have to come back. He was there, and you some of these very said people that talking about Dr. Mitchell now, what he wants, vilifying him, the most corrupt politician in Grenada, and when they come in power, they make $500 and something million, maybe more. And they realize now that based on how NDC is going, they realize now that Dr. Mitchell was such a bad man after all, and they calling back for him. Anyway, time will come.
Yes,
Have
Scholar.
a wonderful morning.
Thank you very much for the contribution.
You good?
There, man, there.
After the budget in December,
yes.
I said that this budget is a disaster for any low-income individual.
It is, and let me tell you what the young people must take note of is that they're putting them under the National Training Agency. So once you're under these agencies and them, once you're done training, you go home. Unlike Dr. Mitchell, you go say, well, okay, these people and them, when you send them home, what are they doing?
Yes,
so you keep them on to give them a little dollar so they could help their little children, to go to school and make sure that they pay for the children education and all this kind of thing and them. So these things is not just Just, okay, they're on the program, they're there for the 2 years, they're too long. Come on! Create the environment so you could bring people on. If they had taken the money and invest in other programs and so forth, maybe money would have been circulating, so you wouldn't have to send home everybody. You would have been creating people on the side, but instead of that, you take it and you squander it. It don't